Hello, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, or Senstaku, as you might know me on Twitter, the executive producer here, and I just want to thank you for watching. It really means a lot to us that people watch, listen to, and enjoy our shows. If you want to help us keep making these shows as fun and lively as they can be, please join your fellow fans in supporting us at our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms or by subscribing to our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/finalshowfilms. It really means a lot to us that the amount of you who do support us continue to do so, especially our $25 plus tier supporters on Patreon. Antitonic, Cat Waterflame, Samantha Bates, Maureen Monty, and Bradley Alexander. Every little bit helps, so thank you to all of our patrons and subs. Check us out on Twitter at Final Show Films and on our website at www.finalshowfilms.com for updates, go-live notifications, and more. We love interacting with you, so feel free to tweet at us or email us at finalshowfilms@gmail.com. That being said, please relax and enjoy.
And hello, everybody! Hopefully you can hear me.
Did you change the stream information and everything?
Yes, I did.
Our microphones
And I sent
turned
out the tweet.
Yeah, they're turned on, but we never did a sound check, so we don't know.
Alright, that's why I didn't realize we were starting.
Yeah, we don't know how good the sound is
now.
right now, but...
Okay, good to know.
Just enunciate everything else.
We'll find out.
Hey, guys, if our sound sucks,
Let us know.
complain at us in chat. We'll
Leave
try to fix
comments.
it.
If it sucks more than usual, we understand that the sound is never really good.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
sort of this minimum
Our
barrier.
mother has made her 4th Twitter account.
Does she just forget the password and have to
Yes.
just make a new
Yes.
one? Yes.
Whenever she forgets the password, she makes a new one.
one? That sounds like something I would do.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
But our mother has MS, and is also impatient.
Okay.
Old people.
It's a good
I
combination.
tell ya.
Can't remember and not patient enough to try and figure it out.
I feel like it would take longer to make another account
Probably.
than it should.
All I know is that every couple of months a new Samantha Bates follows me on Twitter.
Maybe your other club.
with an increasingly growing number of numbers at the end of the
Maybe you're not who you think you are.
No, I'm pretty sure I am who I think I am.
All right,
Of
so
all things in the universe, of that I am certain.
hello, everybody. When last we left off, our players had
Died. Almost.
no one died.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Nobody's dead yet.
We're
And
trying to.
No
We
one
talked
died.
it.
In fact, the
It's-
person you killed was already dead, so definitely no one
And
died.
it's okay. Call of Cthulhu is meant to be a shorter, it's meant to have shorter campaigns than most other
right.
games. It's supposed to be like a series of shorter games.
Because
So
you die.
Because
So-
you die.
yeah,
A, you die. B, sanity is not a thing that comes back easily.
Yeah.
he comes back just not very easily. And we don't have any. We have a psychologist, but he's not really good at his job. So
Well, thus far
He's
you
trying to
haven't had
stay
too many
alive.
crazy sanity checks either, so that hasn't ramped up yet. Mostly people are just trying to kill you the old-fashioned way.
Like, the fact that your sanity and luck don't really come back is sort of an indicator of this game is not meant to last forever.
luck doesn't. Sanity comes back if you spend a while talking to a psychologist.
Very
And
slowly.
A psychologist can give you a D10 of sanity back. And if you rest in a
But that
safe
take
place,
time.
and if you rest in a safe place, you can get 1 point of sanity back.
Yeah. Let's find a safe place. Good luck with that.
Yeah, where is a safe place in
Off
any
this
Call of
planet.
Cthulhu game?
I mean,
Okay, so
you spend
Go
10
for
sanity
it.
and draw a symbol on a door.
So,
and you're good.
speaking
Get one
of
back.
safe
this
places,
thing again.
where you are is a decidedly not safe place.
We noticed that.
It is a bunny-filled pasture surrounded by the platonic ideal of tree.
and
yes.
dude was in mid-sentence as I was trying to blast his face.
And, yes, so, Mr. Face Blaster, tell us about yourself.
I'm John, and I'm playing Galadar Alunai, the astrophysicist/space wizard.
Alright, and since we're talking about space wizards, you with the gnome hat.
Hi! I'm Zach. I'm playing Yutarasu. He's a ship's counselor guy that kind of gets beaten up entirely too much.
You never answer my question. Are you a gnome or an elf?
Yes.
Depending on the mythology, there's actually not that much of a difference.
Okay.
And
Well,
my
father was an elf, you say.
the tallest person at the table,
Hi, I'm Rudy. I'm playing Kyle. He writes stuff on
Right.
paper or on screens.
And the shortest person at the table.
First put food in her mouth.
Was trying to get it in before you got the food in.
I'm sorry. I'm really hungry right now. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
I haven't eaten much today. Hi,
I'm really hungry.
I'm Holly. I'll throw things at you, gnome elf boy. I'm playing
An elf.
Sandra Rosen. She's an arborist and hopefully won't get killed.
Be a good elf, actually.
A good elf.
And then,
Yes.
in the purple shirt,
That's me.
I hope we all check our shirts.
I didn't have to because I knew there was only 2 options left.
I checked William's shirt because I knew mine wasn't purple.
I'm
checked
Steven.
mine.
I'm playing Duncan, one of the security dudes.
I checked mine because I have purple shirts and wear them.
I don't.
and with the longest hair at the table, though only barely.
Yeah, he's catching up, slowly but surely. Hi, I'm William, and I'm playing Goro Hozuki, the security manager, or security personnel, and face puncher. And also explosives handler. That was the manager I was supposed to be looking at. Explosives manager. Physics explosive manager.
I don't think you've punched a face yet. You've tried to shank,
Yeah.
but you haven't punched.
But I am also currently the physics explosives manager.
Yes.
Face shaker.
And you had just you found Card, discovered that he had followed Wynn to the heart, and it turns out that apparently Wynn knew about Yylor the whole time and decided that he was going to arrange it so he could come down to this planet and try to bring Yylor into this world. So what you gonna do? The correct answer is blast his face,
Yeah, I'm
apparently.
blasting his face. So I've spent my last point of mana
I have 3 of these explosive physics
for
levels
my...
left.
You spent less point of mana
my-
to do your
for my hand
sign, and then you spent...
And then I spent 3 of my last five hit points for the spell. So that's 60-10 of strength that he's going to have to make an opposed check to.
As a drop of blood comes out of the corner of your eye and rolls down your face.
My brother used to do that. It was freaky. When he got a nosebleed, he would hold his nose and blow blood out of his eye just to freak people out.
Yeah, that
Sounds
sounds
like
like something Uncle Bob would do.
Ah, yes, Uncle Bob.
You've seen him in person.
You've seen him what?
55.
Could also
No,
be a
57.
convincing
Sorry,
actor.
number's bad. So it's a 57 strength that he has to resist with a con check, I think. I might look at the spell again.
Just whatever it is.
I mean, in 93, it doesn't really matter what stat he's resisting with.
Yeah, strength con is the stat. So what's his size?
He's human-sized.
Like
size
stat.
number?
Size stat, yeah.
His size number is only a 55.
55?
He's not a big guy.
Alright, so it only goes back a couple of feet. But whatever else happens is up to you.
Yeah.
Because I did enhance it, so.
So yeah,
As I blast him and then drop to a knee because I am severely almost dead.
all right. The shock hits him and blasts him over. He slams into the chair he was standing up from and knocks him over it, and he slumps to the ground. And he appears to be quite winded. You think you cause some amount of physical harm to him.
I'm just hoping that that'll be the hopefully very clear sign of kill this dude.
I mean, yes. So let's determine initiative order. I really should just write this down and keep it because it doesn't change in this system.
No, it doesn't.
Who's all right? What are Dex is?
70.
55.
40.
40.
45.
65.
I'm just having a high initiative.
I don't miss it because I've never had one.
I both like and dislike static
And
initiatives.
Craig didn't have it.
Because I like it because
Full initiative,
then
but
it's
ever
an
since
expected
that.
thing. You
Yeah,
know where
who's
you're going to
next.
be, and
Yeah.
it makes it very easy and
Lucy
quick.
had a good initiative.
But I also don't like because it doesn't really account for randomness and doesn't give you a chance to have a better initiative than you would otherwise.
All right. Let's have everybody roll me a sanity check.
Again.
I am very sane. 36 of 65.
Hold on, I'm dropping things.
80 of 45 of 44. Failed mine. Or no, sorry, 45. Yeah.
43 of
Well,
65.
that wasn't the right way to go.
I failed mine, but I'm a true believer, so I was gonna fail it anyways.
What'd you
I
get?
failed mine too.
Okay.
76 of 67.
Close.
90 of 79.
Not fun, little
Yeah,
race.
I got 80 but
Wow.
36.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't have a pencil, so I can't die anyway.
You can't die if you don't have pencil.
Yeah, if you can't mark the damage, then you just can't take it, right? All right, so
I didn't write it down, so it didn't happen.
everybody who failed takes 3 points of sanity damage as you see Wynn pull himself back up and dislodge his jaw as the moss-covered skeleton of a small child pulls itself out of his mouth.
Oh,
I also
I'm
followed-
used to that kind of stuff.
I also lost an additional
Do you have
6
any
sanity
extra
for casting my
pencils?
spell.
No, I lost mine last week.
And as it emerges, a second one is holding onto its heel and pulls itself out.
Good.
Well, that just makes my turn
Thank
very,
you.
very obvious.
Sorry, we lost 3 points.
So wait.
3 points
How
of
much?
sanity, you said?
3 points?
Yes.
I'm at 36 sanity now.
So what you're telling me
I'm at 76.
is Wynn was 2 kids in a trench coat the whole time.
Yes.
If by trench coat you mean his body, yes.
Thank you, Mr.
2 kids in a skin suit.
Yes.
I mean, 2 kids in a
I don't know why
skin
that was
suit
there.
is sort of a Call of Cthulhu thing.
I love the Zachary hits me a pencil. You hit me a toothbrush.
What? Is that a pencil?
It's Griffin's. He think he took it down here. He's obsessed with brushing his teeth. He took it down here the other day to brush his teeth.
Better than the alternative.
All right.
I'm really looking.
Strange kid.
I'm really
I don't
looking
know.
forward to awakening just before I die.
All right, William.
I mean, you just told me that this was a spend one of these 3 vials left on it.
Yeah.
So, I will throw a vial at it.
All right, go ahead and roll me throwing at double.
11.
Cool. So as you begin to throw the vial, the vial of the green, as his mouth is open, he exudes the bronze gas, and it negates it, causing it to shatter harmlessly.
All right.
Spill.
Knife it is.
Yeah, knife time.
I apologize. I can't just let you use the insta-kill vials on crazy cultists. Rudy.
What if you run into any sane cultists?
Well, then they won't have that bronze gas in their chest, so yes, you can use it.
Yeah, exactly.
So we need to find some sane cultists.
They won't have a portal into some other dimension inside their mouth.
The only sane cultist you know is standing next to you, coughing out his blood.
Exactly, and he has a portal to other dimensions, like on him personally. So you know.
Fair. Right, Rudy.
Hey, hi.
It doesn't work right now, though.
I don't know. I'm probably gonna take cover somewhere because there's not really much. I
Duck
can-
under the table.
Probably.
Cool.
Is the other helmet still there? No one took it, right?
Yeah, it's still sitting on the table. No one's taken it.
Watchmen.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
All right.
I'm drinking
So
tea.
He's gonna RE hide. Just
Kyle has determined that somebody is going to live to tell the tale, and it may as well be him.
Might as well.
As long as I'm still doing
All right. It's time for the children to go. So.
Oh, children in the game. I'm like, the kids are upstairs.
They're moving out.
So
Where are they going to go?
the children reach their moss-covered hands into the ground, and a group of tentacles begin lurching through. Vine-like tentacles begin lurching through the ground, and they're going to go for Sandra.
Of course they are.
at least my power
Okay,
increased to 63.
Sandra's not gonna hurt children, so we're gonna have a problem.
They're not actually children.
They're made of plants.
You saw them coming out of.
They look
They're
like
alien-
children.
they're
I
alien
don't
skeletons.
care. They look like children. I'm not gonna hurt them.
All right. You want?
Does a child's skeleton look like a child?
Yes.
So how are you avoiding this?
How are they coming at me?
They just put their hands in the ground, and this giant ripple of vines that begin lurching through the ground like tentacles.
How fast can I do? Okay. How fast can I use the ring?
You gonna try to use the ring to negate it?
To try to make a shield of vines in front of me to fight these off.
Sure. I'll just let you do that since it's going to cause you damage.
Yay!
You take 1 point of damage as you instinctively cut your hand on the ring, and as the vines approach you, your ring flashes and the vines wash up in front of you as a wall.
Okay.
It was less damage than you would have taken otherwise.
I also didn't realize how low I am.
What are you down to?
3.
Well, given that the ring does a D3 to you...
That was close.
Yeah.
That was pretty close.
Using it again could be risky.
Yeah. John,
Yeah.
what you doing? Aside from bleeding out your
Bleeding
eyes.
at the moment. I have no weapons. I have no more spell.
Punch him, kick him.
I mean, I do have more spell, but I'd have to kill myself to do it. There are plants in the way, and if I try to punch him, he could very easily win and punch me back instead.
Yeah,
Tell them to stop.
I got the same problem.
It's amused.
And that would kill me. So...
All of my looks are disapproving.
I'm going to pull out my pocket watch and see if it does
Kill
anything.
No,
No, you see his
I
picture.
mean,
Yeah.
it feels...
That's how it works.
Yeah.
You've got the
They
connection
don't-
to
they
the
don't
portal,
die, they just-
but that
In the
takes a
game's
lot
entrance.
of time, and you're not even at the
Regular
portal
time.
location.
Yeah,
so.
no, I'm seeing if it's like resonating with anything else nearby.
What is that?
That's all I got. That's
No.
literally all I got.
Not resonating right now, so you're holding it.
Cool.
All right.
That's my turn.
In the
Father,
Pokédexes.
what you gonna do?
Pokédexes tell different stories.
Yeah.
So they just did that. Okay. Oh, what the heck?
Shoot them?
I don't have a shoot anymore.
His railgun ran out of stock because he rolled a 10.
I don't have a shoot.
I mean, you have a thing you could just try to beat it to death
That's
with.
what I'm gonna do. Yeah, stun baton. I'm just gonna run up and
Pick up the
smack one
table
of them.
and start hitting him with the table.
I could do that.
Are you
I
going for stun mode, or are you just trying to crack his skull?
Yeah.
Yes.
Precisely.
Turn on stun
Yes
mode
to
and
all
crack
of
his
the
skull.
above.
But do I still
Stun
have
his skull.
the shield? I never gave it back to anybody.
He's
did
turning
I?
his stun.
Did I?
Oh yeah, no, you've still got the hood.
The hood?
You still have the Elder Shield.
Is that gonna help? Do I think that's gonna help at this point?
I mean, smashing people with riot shields has proven effective in past.
I mean, may as well.
Also,
since
this
it
is
might
definitely an Eldritch creature at this point.
have- right. Okay. We'll try that. We'll do a shield slam type of thing instead.
Yes, it is explicitly tied to one of the entities that I said was a
Yeah.
elder.
I kind of. Okay. We'll try that then.
Roll me some brawling.
32 out of 90. Take that, you fiendish fiend.
Well, given his other options, he will take that. I believe it's riot shield is a D6
Plus your size.
plus your damage bonus, which I think for you is a D3
We're at 4.
or D4. Yeah, so D6 and a
So
D4.
6 and 4. I don't know if I have a 6 here. Oh, my 6s are over there.
I have
Give me a
6.
6.
Oh, I have 6s.
Here we go. I got it.
In fact, I believe these are volume 6s.
10.
Those are mine.
6.
Ow.
Those are from
Cool.
drainage. Nice.
He's not feeling great. All right, Mr. Tarasu.
So do I? Well, I dropped that under your foot.
No, that one's there.
Not this one.
Oh, that one? And
That one, yes, it's that one. That one.
It's under your foot.
That's it. Okay.
What's the other one? Can I leave it down there?
Yeah, I wouldn't try to break it. I'm just like.
So, do I know what my special item is in character?
Yes.
Okay. But I still don't know what it does.
No.
Just
Okay.
Be healed.
Not exactly.
you don't have.
Also, what's your health at?
1. Literally 1.
Oh yeah, so that could be really useful.
Don't judge.
So that could be really useful. Great.
be real useful.
I cannot take you seriously with that beard.
The beard is the problem.
I think it's mostly the like. If it
I'm
was
used to
just
the weird. I'm used to the weird hats.
If it was just the hat,
it's the beard.
like if it was just the beard, it would be weirder than if it was just the hat.
Anyway, Zachary,
So,
what you doing?
The door. Creaking.
So everything is still going for Sandra.
Well,
Well, they're
the plant children they still have their hands in the ground from the attack, and Win was just body checked by a shield.
So he's probably going to deal with
maniac.
immediate
Say that
threat
you
or
shoved it in.
immediate
Marvelous.
threat.
Or
They're
the
both
one that threw him. Or the one that threw him with a chair.
true.
Depending on his analysis of our relative health levels.
Yeah. I'm assuming you're... Shoot. I think step one of what I'm going to do... Take item off of broken arm, just in
Okay.
case that's relevant.
You switch your bracelet over.
Thing. And... I'm not even sure how I would even begin to try to figure out what it does, other than some reckless display of bravado that may or may not get me killed. And by may or may not
What does
I mean
Yi do?
I do reckless displays of bravado, so... The two plant children things are going after Sandra, then?
It looks like it.
I'm...
Left me. Don't make this creepier, John. Don't give Austin ideas, please. Okay, he's already ruined bunnies for me. I'm not going to let him ruin my children for me.
It's like the new Judge promo art for Demonic Tutor in Magic.
I haven't seen it.
It's a small child and her doll, and it's like little Maisel would never lead me wrong.
It's a demonic tutor, so I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't lead you wrong.
So what you doing, Yi?
Just go for it. What the heck?
Reckless display of bravado. All I've got to lose is the game. Whatever. I'm gonna go ahead.
It's alright, if we all die, we go on to a different game.
Debatable, because of the properties of this planet, but
I mean, these bodies become plants, but we, the players, go on to a different game.
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
gonna go with first instinct. Going to. So they're actively kind of approaching.
No, their hands are on the ground and they're contrronling these
controlling the
vine
plants.
tentacles.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're-
So they're actually a distance away.
Yeah.
They're a distance away. Well, I'm.
Does it
I'm
seem like
next to
they're?
them.
Does it seem like they're kind of focusing in on controlling the?
It's hard to
vines?
tell. They don't have eyes. They have moss-covered skulls.
I'm going to go ahead and, because the kind of vine tentacles are going through the ground,
Yeah.
try to reach down specifically with arm that has bracelet
Bracelet.
on it and try to rip one of them out.
Make me a strength check.
This just makes me
At full strength or half?
This just makes me think of what's happening right
As long as he's got a grip, he's using his body to pull it out.
Yeah.
It's also a very changeling image.
What is?
43 of 45.
All right. You rip one of the vines up, and it begins to turn on you. And Holly,
It starts to wiggle at you.
what you gonna do?
now. Okay, what did he do?
He ripped one of the vines up. So the vines are now seem to be focused on him at the moment.
The vines that were focused on me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they washed up around you like a wall, and then he ripped one up from the ground, and so they're moving towards him.
But what about the vines I'm controlling right now? What are they doing?
Oh no! What all you did was stop the vines that were coming at you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I take control of these vines?
You cut yourself again.
So the problem is you're wrestling with a being who controls plants, and one of you is a human, and the other one is an eldritch horror.
He's got
I'm
no
an
blood to
eldritch
give.
horror.
Not yet.
No, that'd be Terrell. Terrell's aspirations.
There's a reason Terrell isn't here.
Terrell wants to become another war.
Terrell would already have gone completely insane at this point.
What's your starting sanity? 3.
Yeah. By the end of game 1, you're done.
I would have said, you know, she'd already be up there next to Win, but no, she'd have already usurped Win.
Yeah. No, she'd be gone.
Alright, so what you doing?
Does it look like it's hurting him?
I mean, it
Trying
just
to
turned
hurt
its attention.
I mean,
Okay.
It doesn't look like it's going for cuddles, if that's what you're wondering.
Can you keep controlling the vines that you have to attack?
they should stop. the
Pruning
lines.
shears.
Stop 'em.
Okay. Clip, clip.
Trip one.
Sure.
Attack the lines of prune.
Roll me brawling.
Okay.
Would it be brawling because it's already kind of being held in place? It's less about aiming the shears and
not
more
a
about
brawling
just
on
getting
here.
there.
Fighting brawl.
Fighting brawl.
Fighting.
Fighting brawl.
Like,
I mean,
can it
brawler
really
or weapons?
dodge her?
Fighting.
20%.
I mean, it's not just that. She's trying to fastly clip something that can move.
I mean, I suppose, even if it's being held, but
29 of 25.
Would you like to spend 4 luck
Luck.
to make that a
Luck,
success?
luck, luck.
Where's my luck? Yes.
Alright.
I will take that.
Cool. I'm going to let you know something about plants. They're bad at dodging, and it's a penalty for dodging because somebody's holding it. Alright, because these are specifically designed to cut plants, go ahead and roll the d6 and double it.
D6. 12.
Yeah, you find the middle of this vine and you get right in the hard point of the head of the trimmers and you just hack it in half. As you do so, you hear an unearthly wail as one of the children pulls back from the ground, and its arms fall off.
I'm sorry.
Why you don't play with scissors, kids?
Do it again. Do it again.
Wynn, who has been knocked to the ground, gotten up, and been then knocked back to the ground, pulls out a golden pen, a golden fountain pen, stabs it into his arm, and as it turns red, he writes in a book, "And then Yylor broke into the world." Your pocket watch gets warm, John.
Hey.
And William.
Incoming.
ding ding ding, you have one new eldritch being.
Well, he's writing something in a book, and that's probably not helpful for anyone.
He said it out loud.
One break
Yeah.
pen.
Yeah, I'm just
Because
gonna...
right now I think the pen is indeed mightier than the sword.
Yeah, I'm gonna drive my knife through his hand and the pen and the book if I can.
Just a kebab.
Yeah, just a kebab of all 3 of those things.
Sure, roll me knifing.
An eldritch author kebab.
Does he try and dodge this, I'm assuming? Because
Yes.
that'll change the difficulty of my attack roll.
Well, I suppose. You still roll.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't think he can dodge this at 3%.
Nice.
So if they both meet the exceptional thing, what happens? I think it's attacker because attacker met the difficulty.
I believe so.
Yeah. So congratulations. You
I'm
hit
gonna say
him,
yes.
despite the fact that he also rolled single digits.
So that will be 13 damage.
All right. So you drive it through the book and pin it through his heart. And he just smiles at you as his eyes gloss and fade. Rudy, what you gonna do?
stuff.
We're doing it is the gold knife.
Yes.
I don't know. I guess I'm gonna try to. How many of the children things are there left? Or
They're both there.
they're both still there.
One of them is just
One of them is
upset.
armless at the moment.
Unharmed, as it were.
I wouldn't say he's armless to play get boo.
One is armed, one is unarmed.
Looks like he's been disarmed.
Let's do every variation of the bad pun.
Yes. Puns are fun.
That's what we do. That's a referential joke, actually. But yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm well armed with them.
I'm gonna grab. Wind is still up though, right? Like.
Oh no.
No.
He has a knife through his chest.
Okay. Yeah. I was
fading.
gonna say.
He's up by
Fading
virtue of the
fast.
fact that he is still being impaled.
Okay.
Oh no, he was already on the ground, so he's just
Oh.
been like.
Oh.
Okay.
Completely down.
Okay.
That's why it was so easy to impale him on his book and his pen. No, down.
I guess I'm gonna try to run distraction on the other child monster thing. Try to get its attention away from the two that are.
How so?
Just flail around.
That's big as I.
Roll me a. Let me take a look at a character sheet and see what.
I'll be right back.
Did I forget to mention that in World Fire Gore was a rogue?
Roll me appearance.
Appearance.
Okay, so
See if you can make an impression.
So if they tie, then
Nope.
oh no, was the defender dodging?
Pardon?
Was the defender dodging?
He was trying to, but he was on the ground, so it was harder for him.
If the defender, in a case of a draw, because they both made exceptional successes, the defender wins.
Oh.
When they're dodging, when they're fighting back, the attacker wins.
Okay.
So in the case of a draw, the defender wins.
Whatever.
But it is measuring levels of success. So
He
it's
is still shanked.
like if he had made like a hard success, not an extreme one, then he would have still lost.
We'll call him shanked. His 9 was higher than your 5.
Yeah, that was a 51 out of 5.
51 out of what?
Of 5. So no.
What's your appearance?
The face. Oh,
No. Appearance is one of your
is,
APP.
appearance. Okay, sorry.
The what?
APP. Oh yeah, no, it's still filled. 51 out of 45.
Okay. You can't. You don't have enough presence.
51 out of
Hold on. All right.
You try to draw its attention, but it seems to be ignoring you. Yeah, unless you want to spend luck.
Not for this.
All right.
I want to distract him, but not that much.
Demonic children. The one of them focuses and its arms begin to draw back up onto its body. And the other one, who seems slightly weakened without the ability to work with his twin, is going to jump the person who just shanked its summoner thing. You gonna dodge or?
I will dodge. I'm equally good at both, and it seems like dodging is just better of the two, so. I made it. That was only a hard success, it wasn't extreme success, but...
Oh yeah, I mean, you're good. As the child lunges at you, you're able to pull away easily. John.
My watch still warm?
It's growing in warmth.
Can I tell what from? I mean, I know what caused it to start, but I'm like relevant to me what from, you know.
Sure. As you focus in on... roll me power.
I can do that. It just went up. 25 out of 63.
So as you focus, you can feel that there is something forming at the blood of Wynn, and you're guessing it's forming into some sort of portal.
Can I redirect it?
Only Cthulhu misses.
Has that gone up at all? In the past little while?
No. You haven't had any good source material. That book might have some good stuff in it, though.
Yeah, but
With a knife in it?
certainly a knife through it. No, I failed. 66.
Okay. No, you don't have that. You don't have that kind of control over this portal at this second.
Okay.
Doesn't encountering eldritch beings also increase your mythos?
Typically, yes.
Yes. So your mythos is about to go up.
About.
Either way, it's a 5. So yep, that's my turn. I'm just focusing on whatever that is.
All right, Father.
No.
What you gonna do?
Let's see.
Kill this plant thing.
Kill the plant thing. The one whose arm's growing back, I'm gonna smack it with the, I guess the shield works, sort of.
Beat them to death with an elder shield.
I mean, you know.
That seems more like Yee's method. But
yeah, I'll do that.
No, that's Yee's method. Beat it to death with the hood of a car sounds like Duncan's method.
I mean, yes.
Yeah, okay, we'll do that
Fair.
again. So, 80 out of 90.
All right. It dodges.
I need you to survive because Gora's gonna have conversations with you.
Yee. Where you at? What you doing? How's life?
Survival's never a guaranteed thing. So, one of the plant kids is reeling and the other one is trying to go for Gora?
Yes, trying to grab her.
Okay. So the one that's reeling, is it just kind of sitting back or is it thrashing
He's
or...
standing up and just...
It's standing there and it's pulling its arms, and as its arms reached, it jumped out of the way as Duncan tried to smash it with a car hood.
Okay, so neither of them are... So one's trying to grab, and one's about to get smashed. I'm going to try and see what's going on with Wynn, seeing if I can notice anything going wrong there.
Roll me spot hidden.
John.
Yeah.
If you win with using a combat skill to defend, do you get to deal damage to your attacker, or do you just stop the attack?
Yeah, so if you fight back rather than dodging, and you get the higher level of success, so like they get a normal and you get a hard, or they get a hard and you get an extreme,
You get to make a counterattack.
then you do damage back to them instead.
Oh, nice.
So like if somebody tries to stab you, you could fight back with your fighting knife skill, and you could stab them back instead. But
Yeah, no,
similarly,
that
they can do the
didn't
same
work.
to you.
Pardon?
Didn't pass on spot hidden, no.
Okay, you don't know anything weird about the body.
Okay.
Because if you draw, the attacker wins.
So... I don't really want to tangle with plant monsters too much because...
They'll literally tangle you.
Or, you know, give me another punctured lung. Didn't work so well the first time. So...
That doesn't sound like a reckless display of bravado to me.
But I am going to go ahead and grab the... I want to grab the book and the pen and see if there are just any other worryingly eldritch-looking items on Wynn.
So you run over, you pick up the book, and it's got a whole bunch of notes. Seem to be written in blood, because that's just a good way to write. And by this point, the pen is it looks like a fountain pen, but with no place to insert the ink. So a dip pen.
Because it's a shiv pen.
And it's returned to gold. The red seems to have faded off of it.
Is there anything else worryingly eldritch on his person? Any, large, evil-looking amulets?
Worryingly eldritch.
No, he seems to be naked aside from being covered in moss.
Can he read what's written in there, or is it?
It's
third
not
language?
written in a language he recognizes.
Okay.
Because you just speak English, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Just tear the page out. You just wrote on.
I'm staring
At this point, that's probably your whole round, because you run up, you grab stuff, you've checked it real quick. So. We will move on.
Yeah.
To Holly, who is currently handling children.
Both in game and in real life.
Yes. We will retroactively take her turn in a minute. William, what you doing?
There's a plant child trying to strangle me, so
Yes.
I will put a golden knife in its face.
You do the knife.
It's a success. I'm on the border of hard, but it's just a success right now.
Cool. Well, 89 does not dodge.
Hey.
Roll your shankage.
I need D6 and D8. Where'd my D8 go? There it is. 9 damage.
Cool. You smash the child and bones scatter.
Yay.
Rudy,
Yes.
one of these children just got shattered by a knife.
Is it still coming at me, or is it now gone?
Oh, the bones are scattered, so you're assuming?
Yeah.
So all that's left is the other one.
Yep.
From what I can tell.
From what you can see.
All right. I'm gonna go over, grab the helmet, and try to bash it.
The helmet?
Yep.
Sure. Roll me fighting brawl.
As it turns out, adding a D6 to all of my melee weapon attacks is very useful.
Turns out you're large.
I'm very
strong.
Oh. 37 of 20.
All right. You swing at it, and it reaches up its hand, grabs the helmet, and tendrils wrap around the helmet, wrapping up you.
Oh boy.
You take 4 points of damage as the vines wrap around your chest and begin crushing your chest and trying to suffocate you. Hey! And it's the kid's turn. Alright. It's going to try to crush you. So roll me a strength check to avoid being crushed.
Oh no.
I don't think you need to bother, but go ahead just for giggles.
15 of 35.
Nice.
Cool. It rolled a 2.
You actually made your hard threshold.
But not your extreme. And that was what you needed to do, unfortunately. As your lungs are being continuing to be crushed, you take another 4 points of damage as breathing eludes you.
How many hit points do you have?
14.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Rudy's a tough one.
Okay. You have as many max hit points as I do. I'm just down 3 right now.
John.
You have 14 max hit points?
Yeah.
Huh. I have 15 max hit points.
I think your con's higher than mine is.
Yeah.
Ye's holding the book.
Yes.
Ye, put that book down and get away from it.
As I'm continuing to monitor the situation on the watch.
Why?
Uh,
I say beginning to hold it on at arm's reach.
Put it, let go of it.
the watch is beginning to get uncomfortably hot.
Yep, something's about to come through that area you're standing in.
All right. What? We're gonna
that's a course of
retroactively.
action.
What did you want to do for your turn?
What was happening?
Wynn's dead.
Instead.
There are 2 kids. 2 kids.
Well,
Two
not one.
chins.
Children.
Okay.
At the time of your turn, there are 2. There aren't going to be 2 by the time it comes around to where we are. But
Okay. She's probably just. Are they coming at her right now, or at Yi? Gnome thing.
One's on William. The other one is just dodged Duncan.
Okay. She's just gonna hold action right now.
Okay. So go forward. One's been shattered. You're telling Yi to
Drop the book and move away.
Father.
Could I
Does he have?
could I make that like? I don't know if there's like a social role I could make to make that imperative enough that he moves on my turn as a commanding officer.
Roll me. I guess that'd be a matter of presence. So intimidation. I don't know. What social skills have you got?
Could I make an argument for persuade?
You could make an argument for charm. Because you're trying to like use your presence.
Persuade would be easier.
Yeah, but persuade is a slower thing. You don't typically try to persuade. You don't typically like to calmly persuade somebody to jump back in horror and recoil.
Well, charm it is, I guess.
Yes, could you please find it in your heart to move out of the way of that car coming at you?
Could it be a power roll? Because like power is like force of personality.
You're not trying to.
Power isn't just magic.
I know it's
also,
not
like,
just
force of
magic.
like listen to me personality
Yeah.
kind of thing.
But
What am I rolling?
you're not rolling anything. He's giving you an opportunity to.
I'm trying to give you the
Nice.
opportunity to not be there when thing comes through portal.
Okay.
So what am I rolling?
Charm or intimidate.
Okay. Which one's higher? Yeah, the same.
Which one do you want a chance to increase?
9! Intimidate.
It shocks you into a gut reaction. You want to drop the book and jump away?
Gut reaction is holding at this page that I am, throw it by the page with the intention of ripping it in half and jump back.
Sure, you got the page. Whoosh. Page rips out, you jump back.
And throw the page the total opposite direction, just in case.
Alright.
Little did you know, you just made the portal wider.
And now he comes through both parts. Alright, Father, what you doing?
Oh, I'm gonna hit a kid in the back of the head.
Alright, roll me an attack.
That's the kind of guy I am. Oh, come on. That can't be right. 89 out of 90. I made it.
Turns out this is kind of your job.
Did he fail?
You got a 94.
So I still hit him.
Yep, smash his face in.
So you see the absolute clumsiest display of combat, but somehow it works.
5.
You trip and fall and crunch. Child down.
Okay, good.
Because the vine
First
child
that.
thing tries to get out of the way and trips and falls.
Alright, Yi, what you doing?
All the things are down.
Except for helmet thing with vines? Or
That was
that's
that
the
was
one
the
got
one.
crunched.
I just hit him in the back of the head.
That's the one that just got crunched.
is he still covered in vines?
He's got vines on him, yeah.
Help as much as a one-armed man can with getting vines off?
Run over, start ripping vines off him. They seem to fall off fairly readily.
Okay.
Holly, what you doing?
One kid down.
Both kids down.
Both kids down.
Yeah.
One
All-
got
all
slammed,
three
the other
threats are
got
down.
shanked.
3 threats down, 1 book that
Okay,
guy
what
was
is the
assigned.
book?
It's a leather-bound book.
It's the book
Where
that
did he
it's
get
the
it
book
from?
he was writing from.
Oh, who has the book?
It's
You
I
just
right now.
threw it.
I had it,
You threw it.
I ripped a page out and threw it. Ripped a small handful of pages out and threw it.
Okay. You should probably drop the book right now.
And
He
threw
just
it.
threw it, yeah.
Oh, you threw
Yeah, it
the
sits
whole
on the
book.
ground.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I thought it was
it's
just
so
a page.
He
He's
said,
gonna blast
he
it.
said, there's something coming through a portal there. My
Yeah.
immediate gut reaction was, I was holding it like this, grab, rip, throw.
Okay. I'm gonna continue to hold action. I can't really do much right now.
Alright.
And doing things with plants is just gonna cost me HP.
At this point, vines begin reaching through the pool of blood and emerging from it is a giant moss-covered moai head. As a variety of tentacles pulling from it pull it through. Everybody roll me a sanity check. As you get to witness a proper eldritch horror.
18. I succeeded.
Yeah.
I did not succeed.
My sanity isn't even that bad. I just rolled an 86.
What'd you roll, Holly?
I rolled a 70 in my 65.
84 of 76.
Yeah.
Everyone
74.
come down to me.
33.
Like, it wasn't 100, but
Like I missed.
still rolling over.
Kyle?
88 of 65.
We're both at the same
I think
sanity. We're
the
probably about
numbers
to
go
both
the
be at the
same
same
way.
sanity again. Just lower.
And you all take 8 points of sanity
At the
loss.
same sanity
I
again.
succeeded.
Just lower.
You succeeded. As this being comes in and your minds begin to call back to every horrifying thing that you have ever witnessed in your life, most of which occurred very recently.
Yeah.
We're all gonna be nuts by the time
I've
we get
witnessed
back
a
to
lot
ship.
of pretty horrible things, like across multiple lives.
Yes,
so...
and they all get to come to your head.
Yeah.
I'm not awakened yet. Haha.
Yeah.
This side wasn't awakened yet.
All right, William. There's an eldritch horror before you.
It doesn't look like it's made of golden gas, does it? And there isn't that much in this room anymore.
Hit it. Hit it. Yay. Do it.
You
do
can
it.
try.
I have 2 more vials.
Throw one physics-breaking object at another.
We're going to try.
Exactly.
Theoretically, these gases are supposed to help contain eldritch beings. To see if they do their jobs.
This is
Whoever said that?
the
This
fact.
planet.
There's eldritch beings
I
on this planet.
explicitly said that this gas is probably offshoots of the Eldritch being,
Well,
like
hit it
sweat.
with
Well,
it. So,
Let's throw sweat in its eyes. Then that works.
theoretically, this planet does not like the plant being coming through, so we'll find out. 8!
All right. It shatters.
I don't know. if
Sort of
anything
like
happens.
when you christen a ship.
so we're gonna give it a name now.
I don't have anything
It
else
has
to
a
do.
name.
Big ugly.
Gylor.
All right, Rudy.
I think I'm just gonna back away.
And the smart member of the group. John,
Well, you know, some people just don't have a working
at
sense
this
of
point,
self-preservation.
you're okay. So the watch has gotten hot, but you feel a separate heat. There's another portal opening.
I'm ready for that book. And yelling, somebody give me those pages you just threw. And I'm going to see if I can't figure out how to close it by reading the stuff. in
Roll
the
me
book.
Latin to see how fast you can translate Latin.
Speed read.
52 out of 18, so not very fast.
All right. You know what that word means. You know what this word
I'm
means.
working as fast as I can.
Father,
Yeah.
there's an eldritch horror.
What do you want?
That's not the typical reaction to all of your life's misdeeds flashing before your eyes.
It sounds like a
Does it
different
answer?
reaction, though.
Is
No.
the answer?
Well, that's rude.
Oh, how rude!
All
right.
I should stick it in the eye.
Yee. What's up?
So many bad ideas. Oh my goodness, so many bad ideas. So big giant moai head, tons of vine things.
And
growing
by the
all
way,
around
being
it.
awakened, yeah, this is an ethivore. If this thing kills you,
Yeah. Yeah.
I 1 hit point. I'm 2 hit points.
So thankful Tara isn't here. Just so
I'm trying to remember everything that my
thankful.
my shield let me resist. No, resisting death. It let me resist death effects, and it let me resist necromantic ability. But this ain't necromancy. This ain't death effects.
I mean, not in that kind of manner.
in
It's
some-
definitely here to make you dead.
The mechanics of your shield are not going to be exactly the
I
same.
know, but general idea is it resists dark magics in general, but not ethivores specifically.
Well, you don't.
So, what you doing?
Strong
Just do
chance.
something. This is a flash. This is a flash moment.
look where the exit was. It's still gone?
Mm-hmm.
Any other potential 4 exits, or... Actually,
What's Card doing, by the way?
I'm going to
Card
look
is
to-
a pacifist. And therefore, does not fight.
So he's gonna sit there and be eaten. Cool.
I'm going to look over to...
You don't see Card right now.
I'm going to look over
Card
to
is a
Gora.
pacifist with a high stealth.
Hey, make us another door out of here! Looking at the vial.
Oh.
Yeah, running. Running is always good. Holly. You've got some particularly poignant memories of small children being dragged away by horrible beings.
Wonderful. I thought there was only one small child being...
No,
Sure.
memories are flashing before your eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, memories are flashing before your eyes.
And so you're recalling a lot of that incident.
Okay.
Just,
You're
when
getting
you look
multiple different angles of the same child being dragged away. Is what
Okay.
I'm saying.
Memories from different worlds, perhaps.
No, just the one.
Depends.
Okay.
I did ask somebody to get me those papers for whatever that's worth.
There's an eldritch horror, and I'm holding pruning shears.
You want to go prune it?
Prune the Moai.
It's covered in plant matter.
Why not? Let's prune an eldritch horror.
Fighting
Any
brawl.
workshop left?
Sorry, I'm gonna die.
Assuming it bothers to notice her.
Ah! 4 of 25.
Prune that Moai.
Wow, that's an extreme success.
Yay!
Congratulations.
You got his attention, now you can die.
Attempt to roll damage.
Attempt to roll damage.
I'm gonna turn it into a unicorn topiary.
Make a topiary out of Cthulhu.
Not Cthulhu, it's Yama.
3 damage.
Chink. You
getting there.
run up and just start going at it. You're not sure and recognizes you're there. The head pulls itself off the ground with its vine tentacles as a second portal opened behind it. And through it walks a very, very calm man in a black coat. Very familiar to most of you. You all know him. And he taps it gently on the back of the head. I beg your pardon, but I have a rather vested interest in these individuals, and I would rather you didn't consume them.
He's on the corner.
The Moai head slowly turns, and if it could raise an eyebrow, you imagined it would. Yes, trying to drive me mad. You see, unfortunately, there's a reason you're one of the lesser eldritch gods. Shall we? He says, pulling out a battle axe from nowhere.
I'm sorry, but you're no Cthulhu. Let's just be honest here.
Pardon?
It's like, I'm sorry, but you're no Cthulhu. Let's
Yeah,
just be honest
exactly.
here.
Pretty much.
Cthulhu wannabe.
The being wraps its tentacles around Tarn, and as it does so, Tarn allows himself to be constrained and smiles slightly. Constriction. Oh, yes. What a horrifying way to die.
Don't you hate it when the GM brings in their OC all the time?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I could let the Eldritch Horror kill you. I could show you his stats. It's better than yours.
I mean, yeah, they typically are.
He pulls his axe. Oh, so much blood. And hacks his arm open, and a spray of blood hits this thing. And it begins sizzling and burning and melting into a slag heap, and you hear an unearthly wail. Everybody roll me another sanity check.
Yeah, here we go again. I can't.
88. Failed that one.
No. I made that one
I
after
am,
my sanity drop.
I am focused on a book.
Failed.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
17, actually, I made that one. Yeah. 17 and 25.
What?
91.
Wow.
Yeah,
What'd you get?
17 out of 9.
You were very sane.
Nice.
I was.
Zachary?
82.
It's okay, that's how it goes.
Rudy?
47 to 57.
47 to 57? All right.
So,
So the three of you are fine.
Yeah.
You
I failed.
You failed.
I made it.
You made it.
Failed.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you're able to focus as the three of you have images of several lives flash before your eyes as the shrieking that you hear is memories, thousands of memories bombarding your head all at once.
Who is this happening to right now?
The three of you who are not awakened yet.
Oh, the three of them.
As you remember all of your past lives all at once, and it rushes your head, frying all of your thoughts, and you take 4 points of sanity damage as you try to sort out which memories are from which lives.
Trying to read.
But you
books
succeeded,
and-
so you don't take that.
Yeah, you don't take that, Father,
Oh,
because
okay.
you made it.
All right.
You were
Yeah.
able to kind of shut it out and be like, okay,
Okay, yeah. I
okay,
remember
focus.
that.
I'm
Okay.
here right now. The being falls to the ground, and Tarn runs his finger up his hand, and the wound seals itself, and he flicks the blood off.
What exactly did you put in my prescription?
Suppressors. It's a long story, don't worry about it. I presume you all remember where we are.
Here.
I don't know, do I?
Yes.
Okay.
I remember who my boss is, and it annoys me. Why are you... How
still
are you
flipping through that
here?
Pardon?
I'm still going through that book.
Takes you a moment to refocus, but you're looking at the book again.
Why, where, and how are you here exactly?
Well, I felt the presence of an elder being summoned, and I thought to myself, oh, those poor little want-to-be heroes are going to go confront it and get themselves killed.
Did you misspeak when you said myselves?
Pardon?
Did you misspeak, like, out of game, did you misspeak when you said myselves?
You pluralized Tarn as myself.
Yes, I did misspeak.
Okay, good. So he's not... I was curious if Tarn is multiple people, but... Okay.
So, I just figured I would come down and lend a helping hand, and frankly, Eilor is one of those posh, I think I'm so scary, but I'm really just a rock covered in vines. So unoriginal.
And you still have use of us, or whatever it was that you were
Oh no, you just
tirade
amuse me.
about? Right, watching the
Because-
world burn, all
Yes.
that nonsense.
Look, there can't be some sort of epic confrontation causing the death of hundreds of billions. If the heroes die right off the bat, then it just becomes tyranny. That's no fun to watch.
I really hope it isn't lost on you the depths of how much I absolutely hate your guts. Just generally. I hope it's not lost on you.
Out of him. Sandra met Tarn?
No.
Okay.
Nice. Sandra wasn't around when the Tarn fiasco went down.
So yeah, she does not know who Tarn is.
So, do you have any healing magic?
As far as she
in
knows, this guy
No?
just saved their lives.
Yeah. For some
Walk-
reason he doesn't.
For some reason, the doctor of the ship just walked through a eldritch portal and ripped his arm open, and his blood was so acidic it melted an elder god.
With a battle axe. That's
now
really
that we're all awakened, we can recognize him as awakened, though.
he's not awakened.
He isn't?
He's not an untethered.
Also, you can't just look at somebody and know if they're awakened or not.
I thought we could, because we could like recognize each other.
You recognize each other because you know each other.
He didn't untether. He did blood magic to cross planes other ways.
That's right.
Also, Sandra wouldn't know Rudy's character.
No.
So just while sitting down and reading the book, Tarn, are you just following us around now?
I mean, you know, interesting things
As
happen.
Galadier's intonation changes suddenly.
Interesting things seem to happen wherever you are, so I figured, why not? In the meantime, I have to get back to the ship before I'm missed, and I wouldn't recommend telling them that I came down here. Otherwise, I may have to lie and tell them that whatever these gases on the planet on have some sort of strong hallucinogenic effect, and all of you need to be submitted for mental evaluation.
That was already the cover story, yes.
And given that the psychiatrist would be one of them, that would put you in, oh yes, my charge.
Are you blackmailing us?
Yes.
Yes.
This is how he works, by the way. I don't know if you've met him.
Unnecessarily
I haven't
as
met
well.
him.
Sandra, Tarn, Sandra, he's a jerk.
Like,
I'm getting this with the
Why-
blackmailing.
first of all, like, why would we tell anybody on the
But he
ship
did
that
say
you
this.
teleported down here to assist when that by itself would be a truth that the people of this world couldn't understand or accept in the first place?
Just in case.
Like I said, unnecessary blackmail.
Yes.
Look, I had an opportunity to blackmail, and I was going to use it. Why not? In the meantime, he pricks his finger, and as it drips on the ground, a portal opens, and he walks through it, and it closes behind him.
Good riddance.
Have I figured out anything from this book yet?
It's slow reading. It appears to be the ravings of a madman, though you do recognize the title.
Is it signed Strathonio the Mad?
No. It's On the Confinement of Eldritch Beings by Irana.
Oh, so this is the thing we're looking for.
Oh, hey.
Yep. Evidently.
Yee,
that's what
could
it
you
is.
please bring me those pages you ripped out?
They're like 3 feet away.
Wow, you have a weak arm.
Hey, we've been
One's
through a lot.
broken.
Yes, I kind of do.
Also, it's really hard to throw a page.
Yes, it kind of.
I know.
It did a little.
But Galladeer's just a jerk.
Well, we knew that too.
That has always been true.
I start patching up my arm.
At this point, Card emerges from behind one of the trees. So, that's
met-
Tarn.
Have you met Tarn before?
Yes, that's Tarn.
I mean, I've been told about him, but I
That
didn't
is-
know what he did.
I think we kept you pretty
that
well
is
updated
the-
on how he's been in past worlds, but yes,
That is
that's
the
him.
realm-hopping blood mage psychopath.
And my boss.
Well,
It's annoying.
your boss.
In this world, at least.
There is
Right.
one other
Hard-
thing
hard-
worth
work for him
noting about
everywhere.
this
Hard
book.
to separate the
There's one other
other
thing
world
worth
from
noting about this book that is very easy to notice.
Yes.
Right.
After he
Didn't
hands you the
come
pages,
across him in the other world.
it's still only half a book.
He was on the other continent when we first met him.
So this book is not complete.
Because he was still writing it.
No. This is not his book. He was writing in it, but it's not his.
Yeah, whatever.
Can I tell like where it ends or how is it half a book?
As you get to, you assume that the pages he pulled out would finish up the statement that was there, but as you put the pages back in, it ends in like the middle of a sentence.
So it's like
It
is
looks like
pages
some-
are missing or pages are blank.
Missing. There's no blank pages.
All right. Yeah, no, there's lots of pages missing out of this book.
I assume if it's been down here, they don't exactly want this knowledge to be public.
Yeah.
Is he awakened?
Yes.
Yep.
Everyone here.
Okay.
There's a reason this was this specific group of people coming down here.
Okay.
Yes.
More convenient being able to be honest about this
How
now.
long
To
have
be
you been
frank, that's why I came down, because I thought, look, all of these untethered people, and Win. Surely bad things are going to happen to him, and none of you know how to fly a ship. I didn't realize the bad things would be you killing him.
I mean,
but
to be fair, you're making me pick up your accent. Stop that. To be fair, he was a bad thing that happened to us, more accurately.
fair.
Has she met Code? I assume.
Yes, we met him in the wood between the world.
Okay.
He was there when Sandra first traveled through.
Okay. All right. Making sure.
Admittedly, he looked a little different because he's a cat person
Yeah.
in the wood between the world, and now he's a teenage boy.
Right. Anyways, so we need to find the rest of these pages
Alright.
before we can actually take it back.
Yes.
Oh, if I wasn't clear, this book is what we're looking for. I don't know if I said that out loud or not, or if that was just in my brain.
No, you did say it.
To defeat.
All right, cool.
Ethivores?
Yes, this is on the capture and sealing away of Ethivores.
Okay.
So we need to find the rest of these pages.
Wait, the ones he tore out, or there are more?
There are more. There are more that were. There are more that are missing from this book.
Okay.
Which
Are
means
So an
we
idea of what we're
on
looking
this
for.
When
planet,
had this book? Or?
On the ship?
Yeah, Wynn had the book.
Okay.
Okay, so
So
they
is
might
it
be
on
on
the
the
ship?
ship.
Possibly. I don't know where he got it from.
Go through his stuff. And,
we need to find a place to patch everyone up at the moment.
yeah, we do.
Can I figure out that portal spell?
We
From
also
this
need
book?
a cover story when we get back on the ship.
Make me a power check.
On what happened to Wen.
He got eaten by the natives.
The natives we were going to let come on the
58
ship.
out of 63.
He was investigating some strange geologics, and the unfortunately thick cloud of mist was concealing a cliff that he fell off.
So reading through here, you feel
That
like
works.
you could manipulate the portal that's in. So this was definitely the portal spell that was. So there are notes scrolled in this,
Yeah.
and there's notes about how to breach it that are scrawled in the blood, and it's over top of regular writing. And one of the notes talks about the portal that was used to breach through the confines around the Ethibor Krator. And you feel like reading through these notes, you might be able to manipulate that portal to return to it to create a portal to it from wherever you are.
Okay.
It would again take time and mana. So you may need to.
So
Take a
if
rest.
if we rest for a while, I can get us back to the village.
How long is a while?
A couple hours.
Okay.
I'm fine with that.
Sounds good to me.
Because I regen one
I
MP
mean,
per
a nice
hour.
little place with bunnies and a table.
Okay, normally I like bunnies, but
You don't like bunnies anymore?
I don't know.
Also, I can confirm that Krator is an Ethibor.
This-
You think?
I mean, we were operating under the previous assumption that it was some sort of giant being. I can confirm that now, which is important to confirm things we previously assumed.
Makes sense.
Fine.
I wish I had father's notes. They'd probably be useful right now.
Anyways, I'm going to rest.
Right? His father.
It's my father, yes.
Yeah, yes, sorry, you mentioned him. Sorry,
Uh,
I'm playing
yeah.
catch up here.
Why did Faust awaken so much earlier than the rest of us?
I just awakened, and I'm also haven't seen many of you guys in a while.
I mean, why did anyone awaken at the times they did? These three have been awakened for. Well,
I mean,
you
I
awoke
awakened
fairly
after
recently.
we got on the planet.
Those two have been awakened for a while.
yeah.
Yourself, I'm
Yes.
sure. Possibly the longest here.
When my father ended up getting shunted out of this place, yes.
I awoken during a game of cards.
Appropriate.
I mean, to be fair, it was after the game of cards. And during the getting smashed in the face with a bottle because he thought I was cheating.
Thus far,
Is that how you always awaken?
I mean, it usually has something to do with people falsely accusing me of things.
thus far, every time I've awakened, it's been in the presence of Tarn.
Well, that's
Yeah.
unusual.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's also unusual that there are so many people who awakened from the same place. Normally, it's a rarity. You awaken.
Maybe I'm not like originally from the same places then.
Yeah. I mean, and neither am I. You know, you get one, maybe two people from a world, not 6,
7.
7. Right? Right. How is Torel doing?
8. Sorry, miscounting. There's 8 of us.
And how's Torel doing?
I don't know. I think she's still in the woods.
Right. In the meantime, we are resting.
Yeah.
Yes.
She went to chill.
All right.
She doesn't know that. Like,
Yeah.
Gora doesn't know that. We
Oh,
both went in before you went off somewhere.
Oh no, she went off first.
Yeah, she went off first.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, no, because we
Um,
said goodbye to her.
I know a little bit about first aid. I'm not great at it.
I can do first aid.
I have extensive experience with first aid patching up the security
Right.
team.
I'll leave it up to you guys then. All right.
Work
I did a little
I'll
bit.
work on ye, I guess.
Can I do first aid
It
on
would be
myself?
appreciated.
Yes.
Okay.
So roll your first aids, and then you can roll medicines to follow up since you've got enough time and see if.
6.
All right.
Waiting 2 hours.
Roll a d3.
40 of 60.
Roll a d3.
I don't have a D3.
Great.
14.
D6 divided by 2.
Who are you medicing?
Me to try to get my arm back up.
So you're doing it at half.
Doing it at half?
Yeah.
That's still a 14 of 30 then.
Perfect. So I mean, you
Regain 3 hit points. From
Cool.
mine.
you reset yourself and you gain another d3 worth of hit points.
Can I do it again? I only gain 1.
You only first aid once. You
Wow.
can first aid once, and then you can medicine.
I don't have medicine.
Somebody can medicine you.
While Gora's helping.
Medicine on
Where's medicine?
you.
While Gora's helping to.
So I got a 7 out of 56, so I get 3 also.
I'm
1d3.
going to spend 1 luck to bring that 64 to a 63 that passes.
Okay.
Sorry? Scream was not necessary.
Okay.
And that's 2 hit points back.
Thank you.
While
I got 2.
That helps.
while Gora's helping to initially while she's helping set your arm while she's doing the first aid for you before you do your medicine.
Yay.
You know he trusts you a lot, right?
I mean, he didn't exactly write out a letter for anyone else. I think it's always been something to do with him that's caused me to awaken. First time it was killing his Dark Lord patron. This time it was because he happened to write me a letter. I think things are progressing pretty well on that front, at least.
You don't see him the way that I do you?
I see him as a good man that is more than a little lost in many ways.
I wouldn't let him hear you say that.
Oh, I've told him that.
Sorry, I wasn't bringing it.
Faust.
Oh. He's very caring when he needs to be.
He is. It's why I say he's lost and not just, still a good person, but...
He taught me a lot. He's actually, especially in this version, quite the philosopher at times. He taught me that a lot of times it's not what you say, it's also what you don't say. The lack of words can have just as much of an effect as what you do say. And I think there's a lot that hasn't been said around this group. So.
I presume you're reading the book while you're.
Yeah.
All right. So, reading through the book, a lot of it seems to be prologue. It's discussing. It appears that Irana, once she cast her spell on the wood between the worlds, was also shunted out of the wood between the worlds. Her spell made it impossible for her to live there well. She appears to be an ethivore of hope. An oddity in that she is strongest when the people around her are hopeful. She doesn't feed off of their terror or anything like that. She is strongest when the people around her are able to be hopeful. And so she has to support the people, otherwise she will starve. It appears that this is the world she was shunted to, along with a lot of other ethivores. It appears that the majority of ethivores who were in the wood at the time got shunted into this world. The ones who were out of the wood were just trapped in whatever world they happened to be in at the time. It talks about her various attempts to seal up the ethivores, to prevent cultists from bringing them back. A lot of failed experiments on trying to properly seal them up. That's why there seem to be so many barriers that have holes in them that allow the cultists to bring them back. She seems to talk a lot more about her failures than what she actually did. She does talk about the unfortunate way that Strafonio must have taken this, and her desire to see him again. And then toward the end, she begins discussing some of her more recent successes. It would appear that this gas comes from the wood between the world. It's a derivation of fairy dust.
Bless you.
She heard that once some old magician had devised rings out of these that allowed travel to and from the world. And so she thought that they might have an interesting effect on beings who were native to those worlds. She found that there was a way to aerosolize it that would not just entrap, but sedate an Ethivore. And, as a note on the bottom, if sedated long enough, it is possible to starve an Ethivore out of existence. She continues on towards the end, saying that the hardest problem is to pull this dust from the worlds. It natively wants to exist in its home world, the woods. And that's where the book cuts off.
Is that it? Do I think that's enough? Like, could we figure out a way to do that? Combining it with the things that we learned from Strafonio's journal.
You feel like you could use a way. You feel like you could use this stuff. You feel like if you had access to this, you could use it. Which you, including what you have here, you feel like what you have on this planet would be perfectly sufficient. What you don't have is the ability to bring it to a new world.
So after reading for a few hours. Okay. So. Probably going to have to get back to the wood and talk to whoever's there about this. But
Pull out diamond. Is it working? Okay.
the gas is not a byproduct of the Ethivore. The gas is this world's configuration of an aerosolized version of the fairy dust, a fairy dust originating from the wood between the world. In this particular form, it renders Ethivores in this world
Sedate.
innate, and if they remain in that, and if they remain in this sort of stasis for long enough, they'll eventually starve and die.
So do we think Krator is dead?
No, because he's feeding off of
He's still feeding
the
up right
people
now.
that are here. They brought their own food source.
Nah.
So they're inactive but not dead yet. If we get those people off the planet, then that'll be
So
it.
if that's Arana, does that mean Arana is on this planet as well?
Irana was shunted here along with most of the Ethivores that were in the wood between the world at the time.
Now what I'm wondering is if those strange figures, Gargin and the others, if those are perhaps how they're trapped. Because there's all of those beings.
I remember Gargin from the other place.
Yeah.
Or perhaps tools that they're using through them, because there's only one of them that cares about keeping the people defended and hopeful. That one would be Arana. And then there are others that are apparently less kind.
Where did Gargin come from in our home plane?
He was a thing from a different plane within our home plane.
He was a Modron.
He was a Modron.
And he also had a small crystal inside of him that was part of the embodiment of magic in that world. It was blue.
Yeah.
That was what? Signified the creation of magic?
Yes.
Yes.
Because Tarn's was the destruction of magic and Tarel's was the chaotic nature of magic.
Yes.
What was mine? Mine was just-
You didn't have no. The
mine was
three
mine's a
shards of
connection-
magic were separate.
Mine's a connection between.
Yeah, yours is
Yours was a separate portal
yeah,
thing
yeah.
built by Oaxaca.
Yeah.
built by Oaxaca to specifically channel extra.
It's a
being.
cheat. It's a cheat from between worlds
Yeah.
without going to the web. Yeah. So if Gargin is consistent across the worlds, then that might be because I don't think he was. Gargin's not at least not as we understand it, an awakened.
Well, he doesn't exactly talk, so that's
Yeah.
not helpful. But nobody's ever seen him in the woods, so...
Sorry, what's the conversation happening right now?
He regurgitated the information I gave.
Figuring out the relationship between Gargin and Irana, if there is one, because we're thinking that the strange figures of Gargin's race on this planet are avatars of
Or
the
servants,
Ethivores?
or servants,
servants.
of the Ethivores is what
Yeah.
I would assume.
Which would explain why Gargin is the only one that wants to help people, because he would be the tool of Irana.
Though is Gargin helping people?
Defending them, at least.
He's
Equipping them.
He's defending the livestock until they're ready to be eaten.
Also doing a pretty good job of giving them hope.
Until they're ready to be eaten.
One way or the other.
Still,
That's
they
It's
could...
not stopping them from going
Exactly.
and being
Yeah.
eaten.
Like he's as far as we can say for certain, Gargin might just be a sheepdog
True.
for Kratos.
But
Well-
they could be kept in far worse conditions, is all
Sure.
I'm saying.
Absolutely. But
He is maintaining some level of hope, which they could have starved out Irana by making them essentially cattle in cages as opposed to living with at least some degree of freedom.
Cattle in cages wouldn't breed as well.
Yeah.
Keeping them happy, you got a constant supply of food.
keeping them hopeful also means they'll continue to breed in the hopes of escaping, which means that it's also a continual.
Well,
supply of food.
hang on a second. What do we know what the hell Krator eats?
Nope.
Because I don't think mindless zombies are real strong on emotions, and
I
that's
mean,
what
not
these
once-
people seem to succumb to when they become
Not
part
once.
of the calling.
Not once they become mindless zombies. No, but
What-
prior to.
But the calling just seems to be them just walking
The
off.
red humanoid that we
being
found
turned
manning
into
that
these
terminal. What was it
things.
called?
Ira.
Does that mean anything?
It's Latin for anger or rage.
Anger, guardian.
Because the
There
calling,
is some connection there, I
the
think.
calling
but
seems to shut people's brains off. There's not a lot to feed off of there. Also, have we ever seen the leftovers of something eaten by an Ethivore?
No.
Because there's leftovers here, and I don't think that's normal.
Oh, we've also never seen something eaten by another Ethivore.
It eats emotions. It feeds off of emotions.
Which
And
seems to be what it's taking from these
Honestly,
people.
if you're saying their brains shut down, that sounds like something ate their thought processes.
Precisely.
To me.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing left. We don't
I
know.
mean,
we don't-
Irana fed off of
We don't
hope.
know enough about Ethivores. We don't know what happens. We don't know how they actually feed.
I mean, the two that I've seen, I don't think would leave anything left afterwards.
But
yes.
what about Irana? Irana feeds off of hope. That doesn't mean that people who are hopeful spontaneously wink out of existence.
She's also
being
unique, though.
She's unique in that she feeds off of hope, but she's still an Ethivore.
But
The feeding mechanism is the
the
same.
Tarask back home and Pyro, I don't think will leave much behind afterwards.
No.
Because they were also physically eating. I'm sure that was just a supplement
Also,
to what else
clarify, Pyro was the fed off of the crushing and dashing of hopes and their destruction.
Yeah,
Like, he fed off of the peak of
like
betrayal and terror.
those Ethivores specifically feed off destruction. Not all Ethivores necessarily feed off destruction.
We don't know enough about
Yeah, we don't know enough about them to say what.
fact,
they-
Go ahead and roll me a cult.
Actually, yeah. Let's see if I know anything new.
Honestly, thinking about this place,
46
if there was an
54.
Ethivore that fed off of paranoia, certainly seems like he'd be getting a feast from all this.
So, knowing what you do about a lot of eldritch beings and connecting that they're Ethivores, it would make a lot of sense for them to feed off of strong emotions. One of the most common ones are, you heard of Strafonio was an Ethivore of madness.
Yeah.
He feeds off of chaos. No one has to be being hurt,
Yeah.
but there could very easily be ethivores that feed off of people going mad. There could be ethivores who feed off of devotion and loyalty. There could be ethivores who feed off of apathy. There could be an ethivore who is strongest when everybody else is mindless.
Yeah. So the feeding mechanism of an ethivore doesn't necessarily kill the things that it feeds off of. It can, if that's what it feeds off of. But it's not necessarily going to be, I eat them and there's nothing left. There very could be, I make them mindless, and in doing so, that is my source of food. I turn them into these plant zombies, and that process feeds me. Like, that could very well be either Krator or Yailor or both of the way they feed. We don't know enough about the individuals.
Speaking of Yailor, did Tarn just kill one?
Yes. Maybe.
Is there a dead ethivore body lying around, or did it kind of dissolve?
Do dead ethivores leave bodies behind?
There's a puddle of molten slag.
Well,
Like
You wanna take a
stone
sample?
or metal or
Slide
plant
is-
or...
Is it still
Yes?
Do you have any vials that can resist
No.
that kind of test?
all of our stuff got broken when we drove the Jeep into a water flow.
I'm just gonna remind everyone that the last time an ethivore died, it was a significant release of energy, which in the particular case we saw was to open the door for pyro. Might do something else this time around.
We don't exactly want to create large bursts of energy in the middle of a prison of the
I was not there
apocalypse.
for that, so...
Yeah, when we killed the Tarask, the release of energy on its death opened the door for pyro and door.
Though the Tarask,
Okay.
Tarn did specifically reference this one as a lesser being, so it's possible there are different levels of
it
power.
might not be as much of
This
a release,
one's
but
nothing,
still.
but killing Krator, or what we do with Krator.
Well, and also,
What we need to do with Krator is figure out his power source, get rid of it so he can stop feeding, this gas can work, and hopefully starving to death is a little less...
yeah. Also,
that makes
the
sense.
Apocalyptic.
Tarask died at full strength or near full strength. This, as they wither away, I assume.
Yeah, I can only assume that if you kill them at when they are full of energy is much more dangerous than letting them starve to death.
This one didn't. Yeah. Anyways, let's see if I can do this. I'm gonna try to open a portal back to the
Sure, roll me power.
82 of 63.
You spend a mana, and you reach out, and you just don't have the strength.
It's like cutting a hole in a balloon that's full of air versus one that's almost empty.
Can I try again? Let's
Yeah,
try
you
one
can try
more.
again. You got one more point.
20.
All right. You reach out again, and you feel the connection, and it takes about 5 minutes of you focusing. You pull over one of the chairs and begin etching things onto it.
Where are you opening a portal to?
I can only open them back to the door on the farm.
Kyle,
That part is anchored.
while they're all talking, that pen is just sitting on the ground, and it seems to have drawn your attention. You can't seem to look away from it.
Pick it up and roll some dice.
We're all gonna have to kill Rudy.
I'll just leave it.
That magic pen.
Yeah. I'll
It's just a magic pen and you're a writer.
yeah. I'll walk up to it and
Step on it.
I'll kind of just like put my hand on it and make sure there's nothing funky happens right away.
It feels like it's solid gold.
I can feel that. Huh?
I mean, as you roll, it's
heavy.
like it's dense, it's heavy,
All right. Let's try it.
it's cool to the touch.
I'll try to pick it up.
Oh, everyone make sure your helmets are back on, by the way. And patch any holes in your suits.
Gotcha.
As the suits are just to keep you away from environmental hazards. As long as there's nothing acidic in the environment, your helmet is the most important thing.
Yeah.
So that's only Duncan
I found a hole
because
in
you
my
got
suit.
shot in the head.
I found a hole in my suit.
Can I roll
Yes.
mechanical repair to do what spot
We
patches
have
I
an
can?
extra helmet.
Yeah, there's an extra helmet.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Win left his helmet, so
I mean, yeah, someone also tried to swing the helmet at someone.
and
it
failed
got caught.
horribly. So it's
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, but like, any exposed skin is fine.
The helmet is a separate.
Oh, the helmet seals itself?
The helmet seals itself.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Never mind, so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, it's meant so that you don't have that sort of cataclysmic failure.
I ripped a hole in one piece of this suit, now everything's ruined. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry.
But
It feels right.
Feels right.
Yeah.
it feels right to right.
W-R-T-E.
Put the helmet back on.
It feels familiar.
Which, oh,
I think he's screaming or just like.
what was his,
He didn't have one.
Bingo.
Oh, no, he does.
I'll just put that away.
okay.
Pocket the pen.
Good deal.
Just leave it
Good
there.
deal.
All right. As you're
he's,
etching,
He's making noise.
Okay.
as you're scratching things
I
into
can
this
hear
chair, the chair begins to heat up, and you finish it off by taking your watch, setting it in the middle, stepping back, and the watch opens up and forms a portal.
Alright, I step through.
This is taking us where?
Back to the farm.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
You can see the farm. You can see through that portal into that room.
He's desperately trying to get you to go back up there.
He keeps trying to get me to go back up there so that he can try to get out.
Oh. Where's he?
Well, we're going to take a quick break because I have to pee anyway. We'll figure out if a child is being a child. One moment, please.
which
do
will
that.
restore all of my mana
Oh,
and give us all one
right.
hit point.
And we're back. And you were just walking through into the village.
Yep.
Farm.
Farm.
Yes.
Farm village.
Farm village.
Farmville, as you would.
Farmville.
Well, a farming village would be a Farmville, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
I'm just picturing like the game.
Uh huh.
Yeah, that was the joke I was making, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
All
drew
right.
a human plant.
You enter the
I
farm.
harvest it fast.
You enter the central room, and there's a couple people that jump as you walk through that are tending to the
Hello, everybody.
fan.
Just us.
People.
I'm a space wizard.
We've been having a bit of a rough time of things. I had to come back for a breather.
This is Card.
Oh yeah.
Get Solace.
You do that.
One
Please.
of them runs, and shortly thereafter, Solace comes rushing in.
Hi. We're
I
still
take it
here.
everything went all right.
Yeah, not everything, but yeah, we made
Not
it.
everything, but here's
We
one
found
of
our friend.
people. One
You're
of them.
all alive, and
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
you
We're
have
just as
one of your
surprised as
friends.
Yes.
We found one of them, and we
Well, we
found
found
the
both of
other
them.
was a turncoat. So
We turned him.
Into a coat.
He's now undead.
no,
We turned him.
no.
He's dead.
All right.
Well, no, he was a coat for a pair of plant skeletons.
Yeah.
So you have someone who can fly your ship.
Yes.
Yes.
Card flies, right?
Yes.
That's the whole reason
The
he
whole
snuck on the
yeah.
ship.
I also... Do I think I could turn this portal back into its original purpose?
To travel back to
Back
Earth.
to Earth? For these people?
You feel like if you did that, it would drain enough energy from you to turn you into a shriveled Hulk.
So...
Husk.
Yes.
Yes, asterisk.
Also husk.
Yes.
Shriveled Hulk is something very different.
It's a bigger husk.
Now I'm imagining the Hulk, but he just hasn't eaten in a
Yeah,
while.
it's just the Hulk is a raisin.
You would not survive the process.
Hulk
Yeah.
hydrate.
So
That's
so
for
Greenback.
that's for when we're leaving.
Well, they could come with us, though. I mean,
They could. Or
I mean, that'd be
We're
one
gonna
heck of a
ruin
way to leave a world in style.
Yeah.
With your death.
Yeah. Specifically with my death by draining my body of all life in order to send people back to Earth.
to hopefully starve a half a more.
And yeah, to starve nothing more.
Or we can just fly them off.
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we could
if,
fly 'em off
if they wanted to
easier.
come with us, but
I believe that was
Could
the whole
actually-
point of the agreement.
actually,
they did one
could-
They'd actually spoken about.
could our ships
Yeah.
support this
I mean,
influx?
We have a ton
You
of
have
empty space.
750 people on your ship and a capacity for 3,000.
I'm more concerned less about their capacity and more about our ability to feed them.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
that's why we.
Also,
So never mind.
they can help with agricultural work if
They know our
when that opens up.
Yeah, they are a
Yeah,
farming
they can help
village.
with all
Like,
that.
they may not know any of the technology, but turns out they'll be good at manual labor at the very least, so
So,
they can help.
but yes, we're good to actually. I'm confident that if the pieces we're missing of this are anywhere, they are probably in Rin's possessions on the ship.
It may also be a good idea to check through Faust's notes, see if there's anything that he noticed here before.
Possibly,
Because if there was anything bizarre going on in the ship, he would have noticed it.
maybe.
Because, what? Wynn said that he was completing his father's work, and his father was around during Faust's time. So if there was anything he was up to, Faust would notice it.
Either way, I feel like we're finished with this place.
Yes, can we go now? Please.
Gather your
The-
people.
It's been a few hours. The ship should be in range to communicate back with the mothership.
So, gather your people and prepare them to leave. We're going to go send a message and we'll know you're coming.
Don't we need to take multiple trips though?
Yeah,
Yes,
they
they
won't
probably
They
talk
have
still
to
need
us.
to
Well,
prepare
they'll
to
take-
leave, though.
The ship will send down a
Yeah, we have other
passenger
ships.
shuttle.
Yeah,
Mhm.
regular passage.
I'll
They still have to prepare to leave, though.
Yeah,
Which is what
yeah.
I'm asking.
I'll have
Get all
to
their
take some
foodstuffs
time
and bring
to
it with them.
prepare a bit of a cover story on all of this, but
Wind
That's,
fell off a cliff.
I mean, that's my report to make, isn't it?
true. But just so we can all agree on something. Hostile wildlife. We found humans. Hostile wildlife explains all of the injuries, explains Wynn's disappearance.
I was never here.
Card was
Says
never
Card.
here. How'd we get
Who
back
was
to
never
the
here?
ship?
No, that's
Ah, right.
You have to fly us back.
Yes. I'm trying to think if I
You
can.
stowed away. You're gonna have to take
well,
the
wait,
licking.
he can stow away after we get there too.
You're
I mean,
just going.
You're
You're
gonna
gonna
he
have
fly-
to
he
take
flies
it,
us back.
okay?
you're gonna have to take the licking.
no, he can fly us back and we'll just sneak him out. I mean,
But how do we explain being able to fly without Wynn?
Well, if we're gonna call for more
I figured it out.
Yeah, then they'll quiz you on
It's
it.
fine.
That's okay.
It's fine. He won't get in too much trouble because
Well,
his,
he can give me. Wynn can give me.
he
crash course,
he won't
or-
get in too much trouble because his presence aboard was fortuitous in the fact that we lost our actual pilot, meaning
Well-
that we wouldn't have been able to return without him.
I know, but we can still kind of not.
If we just want to avoid all of that, we can just ask for another pilot to be sent with the other passenger ship.
Oh
and,
yeah,
And he can just hide away somewhere on the way back.
that's a better idea.
If he really just
Yeah, I mean
wants
that's a
to
good idea.
avoid
Do you want to
trouble.
be a hero, or do you want to hide?
Hiding's what I'm good at.
We'll
Yeah,
call for another
That's a
pilot.
great idea.
Coward it is.
Yep.
Then we'll call for another pilot then. All right.
Bring the pilot when you're on your way back.
Alien wildlife, non-hospitable. How do we explain the humans?
There were humans on the planet. There's
Well,
Anomalous wormhole.
This place already doesn't follow the laws of physics.
yes.
I'll
we found
I,
humans.
I
yeah,
will.
we gotta give that.
I'll
much.
come up with some sort of physics.
Well, just give it.
Get,
Yeah.
Though
I'm
think-
gonna make a physics roll to come up with some passable
Technobabble?
technobabble.
There was a bubble of some kind, and they were.
I rolled a 69 out of 80 to come up with passable technobabble.
Cool.
I have some
you know
technobabble.
Card well enough. You know how to say things just enough for him to follow what you're saying and then lose him at key points.
Yeah, not Card, the other guy, but yeah.
No, Etsuo.
Etsuo.
No, not Etsuo card.
Oh yeah,
Brian O'Card.
Brian O'Card. That's right. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah. So all right. Let's. I'll go back to help these people get ready. I'll go make the call. And Card hide.
Yeah.
And I go.
So we
Radio
pack
the
up
mothership.
everybody.
How are you going to explain how long you've been missing, Etsu?
Oh, it happens all the time. Get in a little trouble for it, and you know.
better they think he's on decks he's not supposed to be than being
Yeah.
on planets he's not supposed
Also,
to
we've
be.
only been gone. How long have we been gone?
About a day.
About 6 hours.
About 6 hours.
And we left at 4 in the morning,
We've
so...
only been gone for about 6 hours. So
It feels a lot longer than
it does feel a lot longer.
Well, for some of us, it's been a couple of lives experienced down here, so... That makes
It
sense.
feels like it's been at least weeks.
So I leave them to have that conversation and I go call Brian.
Actually, you call the ship, which means
call
you
the
get Chinju.
The captain?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, Cap, this is Galadriel and I'm calling from the expedition.
Yes, Lieutenant. Your report.
Well,
I'm gonna need you to verbalize this because I want to know what the captain hears you say.
alright.
Don't lead with the crazy stuff.
You have Brian there, you're gonna need somebody to translate some of this.
I'm here.
Alright, cool. We landed. I give the precise timing. I go through all the mechanical, like...
You go through the
initial-
boring part of the
initial
beginning,
report.
the
Yeah,
parts
yeah.
that you would absolutely report. Found methane, found...
Found all
We
this,
found
found the
stuff.
gas, performed tests, etc., etc. Upon exploring further, we discovered a settlement of humans from Earth on board.
I beg your pardon, Lieutenant.
Yeah, we've got a whole bunch of new bodies coming up with us. They insert technobabble here
Bubble
to explain how they arrived, how they experienced some sort of space-time gravitic anomaly which warped them, which folded the fabric of space and time in such a way that they stumbled through a hole in reality and ended up on this physics-defying orb some hundreds of years ago.
Card is
there-
going to make a physics roll
Is
with
there
his
a way we can
mediocre
send up-
physics skill.
Do we want him to
Is it-
succeed or fail?
I want him to fail.
Rather fail.
You know, that sounds like something I read in a sci-fi book.
Yes.
I didn't think it actually happened, but
Yeah, well.
you're the physicist, so take it for now. I'm sure you'll have more to report on it later.
They've adapted to. They've managed to adapt to the environment here, though they should still be fine with the environment. They should still be viable with the environment on the ship. Might put them in helmets before they get on board, just to give them a trial case for medical purposes. But they are happy to leave to come with us, as opposed to staying here for the rest of their lives. The environment is fairly hostile. We could definitely siphon the atmosphere for additional fuel, and I would definitely suggest doing that. Though I would do our best to make to the various colored gases, keep them isolated from siphon them out of the fuel. They have a lot of weird scientific effects on each other and the rest of reality. I think they are, scientifically speaking, I think they are probably the majority of what's responsible for the weird things this planet does. We're going to want to keep those separate and not try to utilize them.
Keep them separate from the methane. Keep them together.
From the methane, yeah.
And don't take them off the planet because they will kind of rip holes in reality if you do.
We're going to try to keep them here.
Are we taking any samples, or is this too dangerous?
We'll leave too dangerous for samples.
I have some samples.
You're not here.
You're helping get the villagers.
Sorry, prepping.
Too dangerous.
And you don't
also
want to
have
take
to
too much of
report
this
a
gas off
KIA,
the planet anyway, because it's kind of a
Wynn-
prison
what was his
cell.
last
Oh
name?
no, I have soil.
Reddick.
Yeah, so
Wynn Reddick
fine.
ran off on his own while we were interacting with the locals. We lost him initially in the fog. We found his helmet at the edge of a cliff. Can only assume that he missed whatever was coming up and fell. Have not been able to locate his body.
Why was his helmet not on?
Honestly, I've got no idea. Wynn was behaving erratic after landing. Maybe something about being on a new planet just affected him.
Is it possible that any of these gases have leaked into his suit? Perhaps they have some sort of psychological effect.
I've done a full analysis
You're
on
not there.
I'm not there. Oh, you're making cards.
It's just him. It
It's
was
just
very
me.
specific.
Could I let you guys behind?
I'll have Tarn do a sample before we leave and check it.
We did some testing and we didn't see any immediate effects, but there's no.
Please don't rely on Tarn. No.
We did some testing and didn't see any immediate effects. It is possible that there was something about Wynn's biology that had an effect, like an allergy or something. But as for the immediate, since they only seem to interact primarily with each other and the planet.
All right. I'll still have Tarn do a checkup on it as we siphon. We'll have to filter it anyway. We'll have some leftovers.
Yep, that should be fine.
All right. I presume then we will actually need to send down one of the
Big transport ships.
big transports to
Yep.
pick up people.
And that spare pilot for our shuttle.
Ah, yes. Right, when was the pilot? It's unfortunate. I'll hate to have to tell his sister. She was so distraught by their father's passing.
There's another Reddick to kill.
I wonder if she has the other people.
Okay.
She'll receive the news and die of shock.
She's on the security force. You worked with her.
Oh, how crazy is she? Do I know?
She is both incredibly dedicated and determined, and driven, and also a drunk.
Well,
Sounds like a Reddick.
Wynn was a kid when like a young kid when Dad passed away. She was old enough to know him pretty well.
Yeah.
Trying to think of anything else that
It's Lynn Reddick, by the way. Wynn and Lynn, yes.
Of course.
obviously.
He was one of those fathers.
What was his name?
His name was Lou.
Lou. Lou Lin Win.
what was his wife's name?
Also, you could send down some medical supplies with that ship, with that passenger ship. We've got some injuries on our crew.
How did you sustain the injuries?
Exploring, trying to find Wynn. Our doctor broke his arm falling. Pretty bad fall.
All right.
I think he's playing it shot in the head.
I'm not. That's his job.
All right.
Well, I wanted a cover story of dangerous wildlife, but no.
I said there was dangerous wildlife,
They
as
did.
well as the fact that Wynn fell off a cliff.
Oh, okay, good.
All right. We'll send down a team as soon as
Then I said,
possible.
exploring, looking for wind as to how we encountered it. So you get to write up the wildlife part.
Are there any geological resources we should be concerned about, or is it too dangerous?
Is there any use that we could have for the
For rocks?
for the osmium?
Osmium is a fairly useful component for certain electronics.
The ground seems to be mostly a mixture of osmium and other metals, so taking some core samples of osmium might be useful in the future if we have any need of it. Other than that, no, not particularly.
All right. We'll take what we need, and we'll make sure to let the harvester ship that follows behind us know that dangerous. Only send drones down to gather rocks, siphon the atmosphere, leave the other strange gases. I expect the biologists to have a full report of all of the different creatures you've encountered. They're dangerous, so I don't expect any to be brought back.
Yep.
All right. We'll have a shuttle set down shortly. Is everyone in a safe position now?
Where's the shuttle at right now?
So
I'll give
it's
it.
in the farm.
Yeah, I'll give him
Parasitic
coordinates.
plant life.
He can ping it.
Basically all you need to say.
All right.
Having
So like the
keep an eye
cordyceps
out for
fungus, but it
landing.
works
There's a
on
lot of
people.
structures here that they managed to build while they were here.
All right. Brian, you figure out how to tell Lynn. I'll do that. Fun part of the job.
Are there still giant strawberries in our ship?
No, those have all been removed.
We had to cut our way through them.
them.
There was a small feast of fruit salad.
Yes.
All right. And channel
Strawberries,
end.
anyone?
I will end the call. I
Yummy,
will
yummy.
then grab one of our spare helmets if we have any.
Yeah.
Do we have a spare helmet on the ship?
Yes.
Yeah. Grab a spare helmet, put it on. Calm. So our botanist is going to have to write up a report on some fake entities that we fought.
I mean, it doesn't even have to be fake. Parasitic plant life is a thing.
Okay. Sure.
Just make it both believable and accountable for the wounds we've received. You're going to have to work with me on that.
Yeah, like...
Roll me biology.
Also, torch any samples you have.
So can I write this up Little Shop of Horrors style?
Please don't.
Almost.
31. What did I just roll?
Biology.
Biology.
31 of 78.
Does his wound
So a hard success. Good.
look like a gunshot wound because the way that it sort of ricocheted off of him?
So it was ghostly, so it didn't leave any sort of bullet or stuff, but it looks... And it did deflect off the helmet a bit.
Does it look passably similar to, you know,
Scratch.
some kind of a scraping wound?
It looks like a
Thorn.
score. So
It'd be a hard sell, but you have to sell it to Tarn, because he's going to be the one investigating your injuries.
And Tarn's gonna write it up to his superiors however the heck he wants to, so I need to
Yeah.
make sure that his write-up cannot be believably stated as a bullet. Because as soon as they do, they're gonna question if
I
the gas
imagine
is
that you'll be.
hallucinogenic.
I imagine that Tar will work with you.
Just patch it up in the meantime.
Let's play the Let's Predict Tarn game.
You think he doesn't like just generally messing with people?
Absolutely, he does.
but we're more fun.
Get it?
Supposedly.
Like making this hard on us might be fun for a little bit, but it wouldn't be fun for the long run.
Yeah. Oh, that doesn't matter. Just say wounds and just keep it generic.
All right. So you...
And then what about my arm? That's most definitely a bullet
Oh, he
hole,
fell.
Pardon?
You fell, broke your arm.
No, the shot you
nobody,
took.
nobody has to look at it.
Well, actually, no. For me,
I mean, but you're gonna patch it up. You're gonna take care of it. Nobody
It's
has
been
to.
patched. I mean, it looks like something small struck you in the arm and shattered a bone.
Yeah, I will say that I did tell them that you fell and broke your arm.
God, it fell on a sharp rock. Not my proudest moment.
They are made of osmium. They're dense enough to break.
Yeah, the ground is made of osmium. Bear that in mind.
And the gravity's heavier here, right? Or is it
No.
lighter?
It's Earth gravity.
Oh.
But
Much smaller planet, much denser materials.
but if you know fall and hit your elbow on a steel plate, it's gonna hurt a lot more than a standard rock.
I mean, yes.
Also,
Now
so
extrapolate that with osmium.
I just wanted to make. I think I did, but I just wanted to make it clear that Gallagher would make it clear that the information that we have from the book now is enough to do what we want to do. We know what it is. We just have to do some experimentation. And the failures that she wrote in, she didn't write. We didn't get any of her successes in it, but we did get her failures, which is enough. Which is enough work already to work off of to start trying to replicate how she managed to aerosolize the fairy dust and pull it from the wood.
Well, aerosolize this. You have no way to figure out how she pulled it from the wood.
Yeah. But we have an amount of stuff to work off.
We also have ways of accessing other dimensions. So if you can just aim that at the wood in a way that is still safe.
Yeah,
then...
we also that's the other thing. Is like we also have abilities that she doesn't have because we're
Well, the problem is your staff can't actually reach the wood in the world.
yeah.
Your staff's specifically designed to avoid the wood between the world.
Yeah.
Or pendant. Or watch. Or whatever it is. Oh yeah, when you walk through the portal, you found the watch back in your pocket.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, like it's we have ways to work now. It would be great if we could find those other pages, but we don't. It's not like we lose if we don't find those other pages.
To be fair, this is also an Ethivor's journal, and for all we know, she could have eventually found a way to get around like Tarn did, so the other pages might be in a different realm.
That too.
Alright. So, what are you helping the natives to pack up? Because they don't really know what they're supposed to be packing.
Everything, just
Clothes,
all the food.
Food,
Yeah, I mean,
Essentials. Are we bringing the animal?
personal items.
yeah.
That's what I'm asking.
Do we have
The
room
ship
on the
can't
ship?
support animals.
Can it? It
Can
might
it?
be able to.
Why wouldn't it be able to?
It was.
You'd have to
big
do some
storeroom,
conversions.
do some storeroom, and I mean,
Let's
'cause we got
leave the
hydroponics.
bunnies.
So
But
Yeah,
we just,
clothes,
just need two.
clothes, personal items, food, and the animals.
Do we need horses? Or do we need the small the food?
Oh, I almost forgot to mention.
Pack up
Also-
anything that's important and
also-
isn't a building.
Seeds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You get a D6 of Cthulhu Mythos for reading that book.
Yeah.
Almost forgot. And of course the
Oh,
correlating
two. Oh,
loss of
wasn't it?
sanity.
Yeah. Lost to my max,
Yes, lost your max.
which I'm not at. So.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting back
How
there.
many animals are there?
There's about a dozen horses. There's about 20 cows.
Yeah, because remember,
Oh,
of
it's a
course.
good thing that we lost all of our vehicles too. So when we get back there and they're like, "Man, we're missing a Jeep and 2 motorcycles," we get to go weird and keep going.
That's odd.
Well, hey, it wasn't our fault. We were on a planet.
Okay. How are we
They must have
doing
gotten
this?
vented into
Is
space
another-
somehow.
Is another shuttle coming down for the
There was
rest
wind
of
Passenger
fall. He was
shuttle.
gone for 6
Yes.
hours.
Okay.
I almost forgot to mention.
I can make a call and have them like. Oh, by the way, we've got a lot of livestock here. We should probably
Yeah,
send
like
down.
Sandra will probably come seek you out to figure this out.
Yeah, we'll call them back and let them know that we've got a bunch of livestock.
You were reading about Yylor.
Yes.
You came across something interesting.
Sweet.
Uh-oh.
Do you know how Yylor makes followers?
No.
If you eat food Yylor gives you, you turn into one of those rabbit things.
Cool. Cool. So the rabbits.
This-
So that's what caused the calling.
This is why Sandra didn't eat any
Sandra
of the
is
food.
the only person who didn't eat any of the food down here.
Wait, no, someone else didn't eat the food either.
Yeah, but then he ate an apple off the table.
I ate an apple on the table. Yeah, I was dead though.
Yes. So you're not sure.
I'm just gonna save that tidbit for myself.
I'm safe.
Because as far
Oh, sure, because we go ahead and... Oh, okay.
I'm gonna say
It's why she didn't eat the food. She didn't trust it.
I'm gonna save that tidbit for myself.
Wait.
Because I don't want to cause a mass panic in all the people around. Because as far as we're aware, he's dead. So we're just
All
gonna.
right. You're gonna.
And if not, then the seeds that we bring up will grow plants that will kill us all, okay?
Oh, wonderful.
Eh,
What do we-
that's for future, not us's problem.
I know, that's the
This is why Tarasu doesn't like your character.
precisely.
All right.
Because Galileo is utterly practical.
But yeah, Sandra will
Ironically,
come.
as evil as Faust is, he probably would have worked to stop that from happening.
I mean,
He probably should been like, let's not bring the food.
yeah, it's like,
Don't worry about
leave,
why.
Leave the food.
With the ants.
He's
question
His
it.
very ends justifies the means, and the ends includes people eating eldritch food.
Yeah,
so.
the ends would be bad, so you'd be like, no, just don't bring the food. Leave it. Don't question it.
People wouldn't.
It's more trouble than it's worth explaining why not to bring the food.
Faust wouldn't have explained why. He just don't question it. Just
Yeah,
leave it.
that's the difference between Faust and Galadriel.
Yeah, Gallagher has to explain.
Galadriel is like, it's too much of a hassle to explain why. It's probably not going to be an actual problem, so don't worry about it.
All right.
And if it is, we'll either fix it down the road or it won't be our problem
Though
anymore.
also, to be fair, even if there is, like... Even if we don't, like, take the food or anything, if the people come up and then we have the whole waste recycling system, depending on how many levels through that food and the curse goes, and we'll run the risk of cursing the whole ship. What's the
Yeah,
worst that
like
can
I
happen?
said, like there's so many factors involved in this that it's not worth trying to get.
I just want to know if you're bringing the food. You're bringing the
Bring
food?
the food.
Cool.
And,
All right.
and like I said, calling and letting them know
Yeah.
that's also livestock.
All right. All right. So they're going to come down. They're going to cover. The village is all getting ready, gathering. They don't have a ton of possessions.
I am like
Garjin is going to approach you as you're packing.
Who?
That's what I thought.
Guardian.
Garjin.
Just all of us in general?
Like,
Or
who's he approaching?
He's going to approach Kyle.
Yeah.
Garjin walks up to you and looks at you.
Hey, Jim. Can I help you?
He looks at the ship.
Do you want to go also?
He looks back to you and nods once.
Okay.
Huh.
I would think you
This
just
is-
want to go along.
You would be all by yourself here, wouldn't you? Well, no.
Ira.
Yeah.
For however long Krator lasts.
Oh boy.
Look what I found. Can I keep him?
Can you alter your appearance in any way?
He just looks at you blankly.
Can always find Gora.
Alright. Hold on a second. I go find the others.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think I've got.
I think Garjin wants to go with us.
It makes sense.
All right.
I want to, but I mean, I was thinking it'd be a good thing to come along, but I don't know exactly if that's.
He's the servant of an Athanor.
A helpful one, though.
But I mean, is he mechanical or?
He's an alien from this planet.
well,
He's a defense construct. I think I can actually make this call.
also thinking about it, the worst thing the people on the ship could do, I'd imagine, would be
Yes.
throwing Tarn at him to do some kind of examination. And Tarn already knows what he is and isn't going to accidentally
That's true.
hurt him.
Problem.
Tarn.
When last time I interacted with Guardian, I managed to I activated sort of a defensive mode. in him.
Yeah.
I managed to activate a defensive mode in him by saying a name.
Yeah, right.
It is entirely possible that somebody might say something around him innocuous that is innocuous enough to cause him to go into an aggressive mode. And we do not want something like that rampaging around on the ship.
It
Dude, especially
hasn't,
when he's
it
quarantined.
hasn't triggered that on any of these civilians for the generations that they've lived
Yes.
here.
Yeah. Right.
And do you know how far our language has advanced since the time that they were on Earth?
It was
And the
named
numerous
so.
additional words and languages that they're going to have access to that the people here did not.
It was a
I'm
name
going
that
to
said that.
guess that the people here didn't speak anything other than English.
It's not mostly English and Mandarin on the ship.
It's technically all official stuff is to be done in English. Anyone who speaks another language is doing so against policy.
Yeah, but people also do speak.
People
other
do
languages.
speak other languages,
Yeah.
but
That's the thing. I said a name, but in
Very
another
specific name.
but
Also,
in
we
another
talked to
language,
Did
any
you-
number of words could also be names.
did
Also,
he-
we talked to Solace. Didn't seem like his English was that much different from ours.
Hers.
First,
Hers, right. I misremembered
Also,
that
we
one.
tried speaking to him in as many languages as we knew, and none of them seemed to work.
except mine.
Except which one?
And you're literally the only person on the ship that speaks Latin.
That is
Literally,
correct.
the
Literally.
So, in other
only
words,
person.
it will be your fault if it happens. So shut up.
Or somebody reading, trying to sound out words off of a book they're reading.
Yeah, I know, but
Well then, we'll tell everyone not to read him any bedtime stories from monstrous and eldritch
I'm just
books.
saying that having an entity whose reactions and interactions we do not know is dangerous.
Didn't he destroy the medications Tarn gave you? Because
I'm very tempted to let him on the ship for that reason alone.
Also, we don't need him attacking
let's bring
Tarn.
Tarn. No, bring Tarn down here.
I want to let him on the ship, but he is very unpredictable. We don't know what's going to happen.
He's
with him
ulti-
right
he's
now.
ultimately a guardian.
I mean,
A guardian of a planet or
Of these people.
The people on the.
And he wants to go with them to protect them.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I
Are
understand.
you going to stop him?
I don't want
Can
to.
we stop him?
I just.
Well, the fact
do
that he's asking permission
Really,
seems to
is-
indicate that
is
he's not going to do it if we don't want him to.
unpredictable.
I know.
Also, in some of your experiments, you found a stop command for him?
Did I? No,
Yeah.
I didn't find a stop command for him.
There was a stop command that he found.
you said something that seemed to stop him from what he was doing, but you don't know if it was a stop command
Yeah,
or
I
just
don't know if
you
it
said
was.
the right.
No, I don't know if it was a stop command or
Oh,
because I
right.
said the right word and he just started to pay attention. There is a way to talk to him. I just haven't figured it out yet. And he doesn't talk back. Oh, he does talk. He does react back. He did say something, didn't he?
Pardon? No,
He
he's,
didn't say anything. Has so far been totally non-vocal.
he doesn't have a
Overall,
mouth.
Of everything we're bringing onto the ship, I think he's one of the less dangerous, if I'm being honest.
That
We're
is
bringing Eldritch Tome.
factually incorrect.
We're bringing Eldritch Tome back onto this ship.
Yes,
Oh,
the
the
Eldritch
car hood?
Tome isn't dangerous until someone starts reading from it.
I indicate the cluster of vials of which we still have one.
We shouldn't bring that back with us.
Yeah. 'Cause
We
if-
actively
if
should
somebody
not.
kicks
We
it,
actively,
yeah.
we actively
If
need
somebody
to.
kicks that,
yeah, we
the whole
actively
ship
need
is
to
destroyed.
not bring back any
Yeah, let's-
samples
let's
of the
not.
gas.
If somebody picks that up and drops it,
I mean, is
The
it
ship
alright
just-
for me to bring back the soil samples?
probably.
If they're the algae samples, yes. The
Okay.
plant samples, probably not.
But I want to analyze these further.
They are part of the ILR.
Start now. You can have a few hours.
How dead are those, by the way? Check your samples.
We also determined that they don't die.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't die until Yylor just got murdered, so check your samples again.
Check samples.
Check the status of our samples.
As far as you can check with the equipment, they seem to be in that sort of stasis.
Yeah. We don't want these accidentally growing a new crown.
Fine,
Yes.
but I am bringing the strawberry plant.
That's fine. Wait, did you eat any of the strawberries?
No.
Okay.
Why?
Why?
I haven't eaten anything here that was
I
grown
did.
here. Why?
I was just curious.
Just making sure they're edible.
That's
Anyway.
not just a curiosity if I know anything about you.
Well, if you know anything about me, it's literally that I'm curious about everything.
He's sort of driven only by curiosity.
That's my primary motivator.
Anyway, I'll put the call in and let them know that we're bringing up a security construct that has attached itself to these people. So,
Interesting.
Yeah, but you explained that it has
Maybe we should
a war hammer.
see if
that
we
can
can
go
take
through
his
the ship.
weapon.
I don't think that's going to be viable.
Let's talk to him first
Yes.
before we make that call.
If we can at least convince him to drop his weapon, then I'm sure there won't be any complaints about
Oh,
this.
that's true. Yeah. Convince him. that
So
we
let's
don't
go
need
find
it.
Garjan.
Go find him.
All right, you find him. He's standing exactly where he was a minute ago when we approached Kyle.
Guardian?
He turns and looks at you.
You mentioned that you would wish to return with us?
Well, indicated.
He continues to look at you.
We need you to not murder everyone on the ship.
If you want to come with us, it would be best.
That flail's made
If
out
you-
of the bronze stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, we need to.
It would be best if you
The
left
chain is the bronze
behind-
stuff. The ball is the green stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It would be best if you left behind your weapon. We have to be sure that nothing will go wrong while you are on the ship.
He continues to look at you. His weapon's still in the corner of his room.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna need some sort of indicator. We know you can understand us. We're gonna need some sort of indicators that you understand that request.
Well, just stay
He
on
walks onto your ship
Yeah, I mean,
Without the weapon.
without the weapon.
All right, that works.
Okay, thank
That's
you.
fine. All right.
All right, I go and make the call up to the ship.
I sneak off and steal the weapon. I want one.
You want to go? You want to try to sneak over and pick up the Kratori flail?
Can I pick it up?
Yeah. It's monstrously heavy.
I just want to try to hit something with it once before I leave.
That sounds like a very Duncan thing to do, yes.
Sure.
Take out a wall.
Okay. A wall
Put it
or
down.
two.
Roll me brawling at extreme difficulty.
Extreme difficulty? Like, okay, what's that?
That's a
Fighting
fifth.
brawl.
A fifth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, a fifth of that is 20.
Actually, hold on. I think there's a category for flails, which might be more accurate.
Yeah. Fighting.
Really?
Fighting flails.
Fighting clubs, I think, is actually.
No, I think there is.
I think there's a thing for
There's
flails.
a flail. Yeah, there's a thing for
Do you know what the default for that is?
I think any fighting skill that you're not native in is 1.
No.
No,
it's-
no, no, they're-
it's
they're
like
10
10%
or 10, yeah.
They range from 10 to 20.
Hang on.
Flail sounds
Roll
like
me and
some-
tell me what you get, and we'll see if it's even relevant.
91.
All right. That's actually an epic failure, if I recall.
Yeah.
91?
It's above 90.
Because above 90 and you don't have a skill of higher than 50.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Roll me luck.
brawling, well, no, my brawling
It's
is,
not brawling. It's
it's
flails.
It's flails.
Okay, other-
Okay, fine. Okay, 91. Anyway,
So,
okay.
what happens with this epic flail?
It depends on what his luck roll is.
What luck roll?
Roll luck.
Under 60, 29.
All right.
Got lucky.
Yes, so you do not kill yourself.
You got hard
Yet.
lucky.
You pick it up and you heave into it. And so the chain has the ability to stop the inertia of the green ball,
Right.
assuming you know how to assuming you have the strength
Just
to hold on to the ball under normal circumstances. This, you know the ball and chains that prisoners wear?
Yeah.
It's about how heavy this thing is.
okay.
So you swing it, and it slips from your grasp.
Shucks.
And since the chain's not being held onto anything to stop its inertia,
It just goes.
it just goes, it blasts the wall out, and it just flies off.
Okay.
Does it
So,
stop when it hits the wall of gas?
It'll go out of town and
You don't see it.
it just goes.
So eventually, yes.
So presumably it would resort to regular inertia and stop eventually.
It'll keep going until it finally decides to stop.
So, random crashing noise.
And then,
We all
and then-
turn.
I look around for a second,
And
see
I-
if there's no Duncan.
No, I'm not
Duncan!
there. Roll a 14 on my hide.
That sweet. Yeah, okay. You can't find Duncan.
Can't find
You
Duncan.
still know it was him, but you can't find Duncan.
Sandra is gonna go grab some cats and bring them with her.
Cats.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are there any like kittens, or are they all like fully grown cats?
Right now there's some younger ones, but there's no like kids.
Flail starts at 10%.
So you had to roll a 2.
How many cats can I hold in my arms?
I don't know. How many cats do you think is a good idea to hold in your arm?
Remarkable!
By the time they
Whips-
start flailing
Whips
and
start at 5%.
Oh, is there like a sack? Can
It's
I have
harder
a sack?
to use a whip
a stack.
than a flail.
No.
They're going to be grabbing
You
onto
may,
you.
you may
And
not
they're
have
gonna
a sack full of cats because the cats will not allow it.
Okay. Well, then
So
I'll
wait,
go ahead.
basically what that means is you can, but you better not let them out of that bag.
She'll pick like 2 cats and like hold them in her arms.
I'm standing off to one side watching the cat
Roll me
wrangling,
charm.
and just muttering to myself, we're gonna find out real quick if people have cat allergies on this shit.
Roll me animal magnetism.
70 of 75.
The cats seem okay with you petting them.
And grabbing them and taking them with her.
Yes.
Okay. Can I fit 3 in my arms?
No.
Okay. Just 2.
No cat for
Meanwhile, Gora puts the call up to the ship.
You let them know they're gonna have a.
There's a security construct that has bonded with this group of people. Seems to be native, possibly alien tech. It's weird biomechanical. It's coming up with them.
I beg your pardon.
It's a guardian of them, and thus far it has yet to threaten any of us. So, and it doesn't seem to want to be separated from them.
No, there's details you can leave out.
You want to roll persuade?
That's why I let Gora make this call rather than me doing it. Because they can always ask, did you run this by the lieutenant?
8.
I suppose trying to stop it is going to be more harmful than trying to
Yes.
allow it.
Yeah,
Although
like
he doesn't have his weapon anymore.
we're not
all
trying to stop it,
We're not
but it's
there.
been
He can't
You're
find
fighting.
it.
we're
Not
not
there.
trying to stop it because it's been very effective at protecting the civilians from the native wildlife. So better to just let it be helpful than to try and make an enemy of it.
All right.
Oh boy.
Nice.
Also, while we were getting them ready, we were just going over a brief overview of don't talk about how you got here or the stitch with the natives with people.
Yeah. Don't talk about the stitch. Yeah.
Just
Card approaches you. You know, they'll probably just assume that to be like a myth. It happened 500 years ago by our best reckoning.
fair.
Presumably it'll be counted off as a folklore.
Yeah, but the stitch part.
Parasitic plant life.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of zombies?
Have I ever heard of zombies?
Yes.
Yes, and where I came from, they were a real thing.
Yes, but you know about zombies here, and they're not real. Well, they are real.
They are
But
real.
people assume they're not real and that people were just making stuff up.
Alright,
So,
alright.
it'll be fine. Alright. And
Let's
at
go.
by the time of the end of this, shuttle is coming down to catch everybody up, and I think that's where we'll leave it for next week.
Alright.
Happy ending. Totally everything is fine. They're going to go up to the ship, and nothing weird will happen.
Nope.
And it will have nothing to do reminiscent of all with any game in the Trilby series.
Okay.
And we will definitely not be extremely glad that we had Garjan along.
Good night, everybody.
Farewell.
Bye.